Dragon Ball. Broly is a tiny bit stronger. Chapter 1. Age 732. Universe 7, Outer Space. A beam of light, brilliant as a meteor, cut through the darkness at a speed surpassing common sense. The two people within the light were the angel Whis and the god of destruction Beerus of Universe 7. Beerus yawned occasionally, his eyelids drooping as he nearly fell asleep while flying. Whis, however, maintained his composed demeanor and amiable smile. Whis, are we not there yet? Beerus opened his mouth wide again, letting out a long yawn. He even squeezed out a few drowsy tears, which he impatiently wiped away with his paw. His voice was thick with sleepiness. That planet you mentioned, the one with the ultimate delicacy, where exactly is it? My patience, no, my sleepiness is reaching its limit. Oh dear, Lord Beerus, please be patient a little longer. Whis turned his head, his smile unchanged. At our current speed, we'll be there soon. The unique flavors on that planet will surely make you feel this journey was worthwhile. Just as the two were conversing. Whoosh! A streak of light, not originating from a star, flashed past from the distant side, its trailing flame leaving a brief but striking trace against the dark cosmic background. It was a spaceship traveling at high speed. Beerus reluctantly lifted his eyelids and cast a lazy glance. A spaceship. Judging by that round shape, it must be the spherical mini-model mass-produced by the Frieza Force, the kind that only fits one person. Yes, Lord Beerus has excellent eyesight. Whis nodded with a smile, simultaneously raising the staff in his hand. The crystal sphere at the tip of the staff instantly projected a clear image of the spaceship's interior. A small infant, wearing a battle suit, was sound asleep. The infant had thick black hair, and even in sleep, his brow seemed to carry a hint of defiance. Let me see. Oh, a Saiyan infant, not even 1 year old yet. Whis smiled. Judging by his trajectory and the fact that he's traveling alone, he was likely banished to some remote planet by King Vegeta. That's not uncommon in Saiyan tradition. HMPH, Saiyans. Beerus snorted through his nose, sounding uninterested. It seemed like a casual question, and his attention was quickly being pulled away by the Sandman again. However, Whis subtly shifted the topic, a hint of undetectable surprise entering his tone. The latent energy contained within this sleeping little guy is quite extraordinary. Although his body is still so young, the energy fluctuations he is unconsciously emitting right now, if converted into the battle power value commonly used by the Frieza Force, might already exceed 1 million. TCH, merely 1 million battle power. Beerus curled his lip in disdain and flicked his tail listlessly. A guy of this level doesn't even qualify to amuse me. Ho ho ho. While that's true, considering his age, this potential is quite astonishing. Whis let out his characteristic laugh, his eyes gleaming with insight. Given enough time and opportunity to grow, this infant's future might reach an unimaginable height. Beerus's half-closed eyes suddenly opened slightly, a sharp glint flashing in his pupils. Whis, judging by your tone, do you think this little runt's future strength could one day surpass this god of destruction? Ho ho ho. Well, the mysteries of the universe are endless, and any possibility exists, wouldn't you agree, Lord Beerus? Whis maintained his smiling expression, neither confirming nor outright denying. The ambiguous answer was like a stone thrown into a calm lake. Beerus fell silent, the lazy expression on his face visibly receding. A brief silence. Whoosh. Without warning, Beerus's figure instantly detached from Whis, transforming into a sharp, purplish-red streak of light. Like tearing through space, he caught up to the spherical spaceship, which was about to vanish from sight, in the blink of an eye. Whis stopped moving, floating gracefully in the void, tapping his staff lightly as he watched with interest. Clack. Beerus merely extended one finger and nonchalantly pressed it against the front of the high-speed spaceship. The violent kinetic energy vanished as if a clay ox had entered the sea. The spaceship instantly transitioned from extreme motion to extreme stillness, stopping obediently before the god of destruction's fingertip. There wasn't even any inertia, it was truly miraculous. Beerus tilted his cat-like head, observing the sleeping infant inside through the spaceship's viewing window with a mix of scrutiny and curiosity. Broly was sleeping soundly, a string of glistening drool even hanging from the corner of his mouth, his chubby face flushed due to his deep slumber. Seeing this defenseless, peaceful sleeping figure, Beerus felt the sleepiness he had forcibly dispelled creeping back up, and he couldn't help but let out another massive yawn. This drooling little thing could threaten me in the future. Beerus found it somewhat amusing, and the corner of his mouth involuntarily lifted, forming an arc of mockery and disbelief. Snap. However, at this exact moment, Brawley, who had been sleeping in the spaceship, suddenly opened his eyes without warning, as if sensing the oppressive gaze from outside. They were clear and pure eyes, yet they held no fear as they met Beerus's scrutinizing gaze directly. The look contained the confusion of a newborn, but deep within, there seemed to lurk an instinctive, beast-like alertness. Oh. Awake. Beerus was slightly surprised, but immediately reverted to his condescending demeanor, chuckling softly. Brawley merely stared blankly at him, his small face full of confusion, seemingly not yet understanding what this purple, cat-faced creature before him was. You want to surpass this god of destruction. You're a million years too early. Beerus let out a cold snort. Next, Beerus casually flicked his finger. Boom. An invisible, immense force struck the spaceship's hull, and the entire ship instantly changed direction, like a baseball hit squarely by a bat. The next moment, the spaceship, accompanied by a sharp whooshing sound, tumbled and shot toward the distant deep space, deviating from its original trajectory. Brawley inside the spaceship was also thrown around and collided with the cabin walls by this sudden immense force, experiencing a dizzying upheaval. Let's go, Whis. Beerus clapped his hands and returned to Whis's side. Very well, Lord Beerus. Whis nodded, saying nothing more. However, just as the two were about to move. Click. A faint mechanical unlocking sound, yet exceptionally clear in the silent cosmos, was heard. The spherical spaceship, which had been knocked into a distant region, had its hatch opened. Immediately afterward, a surge of intense dark green ki erupted from the hatch, quickly enveloping a small figure. The ki formed a thin energy shield, barely isolating the figure from the vacuum of space. The next moment, Brawley transformed into a streak of dark green light, charging fiercely toward Beerus and Whis like an arrow released from a bow. Hey, Whis, I remember that although Saiyans have special physiques, they can't survive directly in outer space without protection, right? What's the deal with this kid? Beerus looked surprised again, finding it unexpected. Oh my, what amazing instinct. Whis looked closely and explained, he is relying on the powerful energy within his body to spontaneously form a temporary protective shield around himself. The inside of this shield simulates an atmosphere-like environment. However, this method consumes an extreme amount of energy and is very unstable. With his current control, he probably can't survive in outer space for long periods. Oh. Does that mean he knows I just batted him away, so he's desperately trying to come back and take revenge? The surprise on Beerus's face transformed into a contemptuous, mocking smile. Interesting, truly interesting. At this moment, Brawley had rushed to a position about 1 kilometer away from them. On a cosmic scale, this distance was practically face-to-face. Brawley's small body hovered in the void, a dark green aura trailing briefly behind him, his clear eyes fixed intently on Beerus. There was no anger, no hatred. Only a pure, primal urge to strike back. Brawley suddenly opened his small mouth, and a heart-stopping glow of energy began to gather deep in his throat. The light was a dark green, deep and seemingly containing infinite vitality. Whoosh! A concentrated beam of dark green energy shot out from Brawley's mouth, piercing the brief void and whistling directly toward Beerus's face. Where the beam passed, even space itself seemed to ripple subtly. Facing this attack, which could easily destroy a planet, Beerus didn't even move his feet. Beerus merely raised one hand again, extremely casually, and opened his palm. PFF'd. The dark green energy beam accurately struck Beerus's palm, but the expected explosion did not occur. Instantly, the energy seemed to hit an immovable wall, and all the impact and destructive force were neutralized and disintegrated. Accompanied by a faint muffled sound, the energy, like a flickering candle in the wind, turned into countless dark green specks of light and silently vanished into the vacuum. Not even a single ripple was stirred up. Brawley's pupils suddenly contracted, his small head seemed unable to comprehend the scene unfolding before him. But Brawley continued to gaze intently at Beerus, as if trying to deeply imprint this powerful and immovable figure into his newly awakened consciousness. HMPH, kid, if you want to fight me, go back and train for a few thousand years. Beerus sneered, a curve of disdain forming at the corner of his mouth. Oh dear, Lord Beerus, please don't forget, he is barely a 1-year-old infant. Whis shook his head gently from the side, a hint of helplessness in his tone. Brawley did not launch another attack. After looking at the unfathomable entity before him, Brawley looked back at the spaceship, which, due to being batted away and its own inertia, had already turned into a small dot, about to disappear into the deep darkness. Brawley's simple mind finally seemed to realize something. He couldn't seem to catch up to the spaceship that was supposed to take him to an unknown destination. An instinctive sense of crisis replaced the desire to attack. Brawley no longer hesitated. He spun around abruptly, his dark green aura erupting again, propelling him like a retrograde meteor, desperately chasing after the direction in which the spaceship was disappearing. However, the spaceship had gained tremendous initial velocity when Beerus batted it away, and its own engine was still running. Although Brawley was fast relying on his own energy for flight, it was difficult for him to catch up. Ha ha ha. This idiotic kid. Beerus couldn't help but roar with laughter upon seeing this, tears practically streaming down his face. If he really can't catch the ship and dies in space from energy exhaustion, that would be the biggest joke in the universe. Analyzing the current situation, the probability of this little Saiyan infant catching up to the spaceship using his own power is less than 0.1%. Whis calmly offered his assessment. Tisk, troublesome. Beerus stopped laughing and clicked his tongue. Give him a hand, Whis. As you command, Lord Beerus. Whis nodded slightly, elegantly raising the staff in his hand, and gently pointed it at Brawley's tiny figure from a great distance. Snap. A formless, intangible angelic power, containing the strength of supreme law, crossed space and instantly acted upon Brawley. Brawley only felt a strange distortion of space around him, and the scene before his eyes wobbled like a reflection on water. Swish. When Brawley came back to his senses, he found himself sitting securely inside the cramped, familiar spaceship cockpit. Brawley blinked blankly, reaching up with a small hand to scratch his head, seemingly completely unable to grasp what had just happened. But the attention of an infant is easily distracted, and combined with the great deal of energy consumed by the previous exertion, a strong wave of exhaustion washed over him. Brawley let out a huge yawn, tilted his small head, leaned against the soft seat, and almost instantly fell back into a deep sleep. However, no one noticed that while Whis was teleporting Brawley back to the spaceship and using the angelic power to stabilize the ship's structure. The force contained in Beerus's casual swat, combined with the subtle spatial disturbance generated when Whis's energy intervened. Under their combined effect, the navigation system inside the spaceship, originally set to target planet Vampa, experienced a minor yet fate-altering deviation. The course coordinates were quietly modified without anyone noticing. The spaceship, still in autopilot mode, faithfully executed the new command, silently heading toward a beautiful, azure planet located on the edge of the North Galaxy. Earth. Oh my, this Brawley is just a tiny bit too fierce. Whis smiled. Alright, we should go, Whis. Beerus let out a huge yawn, his eyelids so heavy they were practically stuck together. He bared his teeth. I can't take it anymore, I've hit my limit. If I don't find a place to sleep soon, I might fall asleep right here on the way before I even taste the delicious food you mentioned. In that case, how about taking a photo of Lord Beerus with us? Whis suddenly turned his head, flashing a mischievous, brilliant smile. Huh, a photo? What do you mean? Beerus was momentarily stunned, his sleepy brain slow to process the question. While I enjoy the delicacies on that planet, I can respectfully place a photo of Lord Beerus across the dining table. That way, well, in a sense, Lord Beerus will also have participated in this gourmet trip, spiritually present with the food. Whis laughed, his shoulders shaking. Beerus's face instantly darkened, invisible veins seemed to bulge on his forehead, and he glared at Whis impatiently. Oh dear, my apologies. It was just a little joke, hoping to help Lord Beerus perk up. Whis quickly suppressed his smile, but the amusement in his eyes lingered. The two adjusted their direction, preparing to set off again. However, right at that moment, whoosh! Another small spaceship whizzed in from a different direction, clearly slowing down as it approached Beerus and Whis. The ship's external loudspeaker lit up, and a rude and anxious voice, transmitted via energy conversion, vibrated directly through the vacuum and into the ears of Whis and Beerus. Hey! That purple cat over there. And that blue sprite. Yes, you too. I'm talking to you. Did you see a spherical mini spaceship pass by here just now? If you heard me, answer quickly. Beerus. Whis. Are you deaf? Answer my question now. Seeing no reaction from the two, the voice inside the ship became even more arrogant and impatient. Destroy. Beerus didn't even bother to look at the spaceship again, merely spitting out those two cold words. Immediately, an invisible, dark purple energy rippled outwards like water, instantly enveloping the small, tactless spaceship. Snap. There was no explosion, no flash of fire, and no wreckage. In that instant, the spaceship, along with the arrogant voice inside it, was completely reduced to its most basic atoms, dissipating into nothingness, as if erased from a drawing by an eraser. It was as if it had never existed. A noisy fly. Beerus snorted coldly, flicked his tail, and instructed Whis, this time, we really must leave, Whis. Understood, Lord Beerus. Whis nodded lightly, said no more, paused his staff slightly, and began to radiate a soft light, more brilliant and pure than the stars themselves. Whoosh! The two once again transformed into a streak of light piercing the star sea, speeding toward the target gourmet planet. During the flight, Beerus, perhaps to dispel the last of his drowsiness or simply out of curiosity, asked casually, by the way, Whis, what was the background of that fly I just destroyed? Whis raised his staff again, and light and shadow flowed across the crystal ball's surface, tracing the past information of the non-existent spaceship. Hoo-hoo, based on the residual energy signatures and database comparison, the person in that spaceship seems to have been the father of that Saiyan infant, named Paragus. He was probably tracking his son's spaceship signal. Whis replied. Saiyans again. Beerus narrowed his eyes slightly, a cold light flashing in his pupils. I remember I previously ordered that fellow, Vegeta III, to find the most comfortable pillow in the entire universe for me. What was the result? He found it, but hid the best one to enjoy himself, only giving me a secondary tribute. These wild monkeys have no sense of hierarchy. Whis listened quietly, not interrupting. It seems the Saiyan race truly has no need to continue existing. Beerus's voice became cold and authoritative as he made his decision. Whis, contact Frieza immediately. As you wish, Lord Beerus. Whis carried out the command. Immediately, Frieza's face, bearing his trademark false smile, appeared on the crystal ball of the staff. Isn't this Lord Beerus? Frieza's inherently evil yet polite voice transmitted over. Do you have any instructions? It is my honor to serve you. I will be entering a long period of slumber soon. Beerus issued the order directly in an unquestionable tone. During my sleep, you will be responsible for carrying out planet destruction tasks for me. Do you understand? Oh ho 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 ho. Frieza let out a series of joyful and cruel cackles. Please rest completely assured, Lord Beerus. Destroying planets and letting them vanish in the most beautiful fireworks, that is the entertainment I, Frieza, am best at and most passionate about. Beerus responded faintly, then, as if remembering something, added, and while you're at it, destroy planet Vegeta for me too. That is all. On the other end of the communication, Frieza's false smile instantly froze, then deepened into something more profound and sinister. I was just worrying that the illusory legend of the Super Saiyan might emerge among the Saiyans. Lord Beerus, this command of yours is like being given a pillow when you're sleepy. I shall obey your will, Lord Beerus. Frieza's voice carried irrepressible excitement. I will ensure that planet Vegeta presents you with the grandest and most eternal lullaby. The communication ended. Beerus yawned, took one last look at the endless starry sky, and murmured, finally, some peace. Let's go, Whis. I hope the gourmet food you mentioned can genuinely make me forget about sleeping for a while. The figures of the two completely vanished into the depths of the starlight. 3 months later. Earth. On a vast, azure ocean, islands of varying sizes were scattered like pearls. One of these small islands was tiny in area but filled with an atmosphere of peace and serenity. The most prominent building on the island was an unusual house featuring Chinese architecture. At this moment, the owner of the house, Master Roshi, who was known as the God of Martial Arts, was alone in his room. He was sitting cross-legged on the floor, Wearing exaggerated sunglasses perched on his nose and a Hawaiian floral shirt, his body practically glued to the screen of an old cathode ray tube television. On the screen, several young girls, dressed lightly and full of vigor, were enthusiastically performing aerobics, radiating youthful energy. Ha ha ha. This one is good, that figure is nice. Oh, that smile is too sweet. Master Roshi watched raptly, his dim old eyes sparkling, and drool unconsciously flowed down his white beard. Thank you for watching, everyone. Today's Happy Aerobics program ends here. See you next week at the same time. The lead dancer blew a kiss to the camera, flashing an incredibly sweet smile. Master Roshi felt as if his heart had been struck by Cupid's arrow, his entire body felt numb. He subconsciously waved along, saying goodbye foolishly, goodbye. The program ended, leaving only a monotonous test pattern and buzzing static on the screen. Master Roshi reluctantly pulled his gaze away, clicked his tongue with lingering satisfaction, and then slowly braced his somewhat stiff old arms and legs to stand up from the floor. Master Roshi stretched again, and a series of light cracking sounds came from his joints. Ah, good times are always short-lived. Master Roshi sighed, pacing outside to breathe some fresh air and check if his sea turtle had returned. It was dusk, the setting sun painted the sky and sea a warm orange-red, and the surface of the ocean glittered, as if covered in shattered gold. The slightly salty sea breeze blew gently, carrying the unique, lazy atmosphere of a tropical island. Just as Master Roshi stood steady and prepared to take a deep breath. Whoosh! An exceptionally bright meteor, trailing a long tail of fire, suddenly sliced through the gorgeous sunset clouds and sped toward Earth's atmosphere. Master Roshi was stunned, and then an expression of pleasant surprise appeared on his old face. It's a shooting star. It's been a long time since I saw such a bright one. What a rare opportunity. Quick, make a wish. Master Roshi quickly put his hands together, closed his eyes, and prayed to the cosmos with what he believed was the most devout voice in his heart. Meteor, oh meteor, can you grant me a young, beautiful, curvaceous, gentle, and considerate young lady? Please. However, just as Master Roshi finished silently reciting his wish, and before he could open his eyes, he felt a powerful sense of pressure descending from the sky. Master Roshi suddenly opened his eyes, horrified to discover. The meteor upon which he had just placed his high hopes had not vanished into the sky, instead, it grew larger and brighter. Furthermore, the meteor, trailing fiercely burning flames, was diving down toward his location on an extremely precise trajectory. Master Roshi. Master Roshi's expression instantly changed from delighted surprise to ashen white, and his white beard stood up in fright. What I wanted was a beautiful young lady. Big brother Meteor, you've got the wrong target. Master Roshi let out a silent scream in his heart. Rumble. The next moment, a deafening roar shattered the tranquility of the small island. The meteor did not directly hit Kame House, but slammed violently into the sea surface less than 500 meters from the small island. As if a massive bomb had been dropped into the water, the sea surface instantly cratered, forming a huge depression nearly 100 meters in diameter, with the surrounding seawater forcefully displaced. Immediately after, something even more terrifying occurred. The displaced water rushed back with even greater ferocity, forming a circular, wall-like giant wave hundreds of meters high, which, carrying an aura of absolute destruction, crashed down fiercely upon the central island. Ah! Master Roshi only had time to let out a short cry before the turbulent wall of seawater crashed down, instantly engulfing the entire small island. Master Roshi felt like a fallen leaf, swept up by an irresistible force, tumbling in the violent current. Everything went dark, and salty seawater frantically poured into Master Roshi's mouth and nose. The giant wave came quickly and receded just as fast. Tens of seconds later, the raging seawater slowly receded, exposing the devastated small island once again. Kame House, due to its sturdy structure, did not collapse, but it was knocked askew. The tables, chairs, and parasol outside had long since been swept away. Master Roshi, soaking wet and utterly disheveled, lay sprawled on the ground like a beached fish, coughing violently and spitting out several mouthfuls of seawater. Just as Master Roshi struggled to get up, he felt something heavy resting on his head. It was soft, and carried a faint fragrance. Master Roshi dazedly reached up to touch his head, and his fingers met a body that was cool and smooth. Master Roshi blankly lifted his soaking wet face. Through his tear-filled eyes, he saw a beautiful mermaid perched right on top of his head. The golden afterglow of the setting sun shone upon her, making the scales of her fishtail sparkle. Her upper body resembled a human's, with fair skin and a delicate face, her large eyes showing a mixture of curiosity and wariness. Her lower half was a beautifully contoured fish tail covered in shimmering scales. Mermaid. Master Roshi's pupils suddenly constricted, his eyelids, previously droopy from disappointment, instantly shot up. His old eyes seemed to be injected with life, abruptly transforming into two fiercely throbbing pink hearts. Master Roshi gaped, and drool nearly trickled down his beard again. A mermaid, that's not bad either. And this mermaid is truly fresh and beautiful. That delicate and alluring little mouth of hers, like a flower petal. Tisk tisk, just looking at it makes one's heart pound. Is this the gift the meteor bestowed upon me? Meteor, oh meteor, you are so kind. If I feed the mermaid some mint and small chili peppers later, this feeling would be absolutely awesome. The mermaid was still completely bewildered. How did I end up here? I remember I was swimming in the sea. Beautiful mermaid, be my friend. I have many kinds of skills. Master Roshi said excitedly to the mermaid. Slap. Slap. The mermaid's pretty face darkened, and she immediately slapped Master Roshi twice with her tail. Splash. The next moment, the mermaid shot into the ocean, splashing up a wave, and quickly disappeared without a trace. Master Roshi remained rooted to the spot, his expression blank, unable to process what happened. Hey, don't leave. We can talk about something else too, Master Roshi shouted at the top of his lungs. However, the mermaid had long since vanished, and no matter how Master Roshi called out, there was no response. Master Roshi was on the verge of tears, instinctively thinking that he had lost the beauty the meteor had sent him. What a wonderful fish. Master Roshi gazed into the depths of the ocean, two streams of hot tears flowing down from his eyes. Just as Master Roshi was shedding tears and mourning the meteor's gift that he had gained and then lost. Thwack! Brawly's spacecraft suddenly rose from the depths of the ocean and hovered above the sea surface. Master Roshi turned around blankly, and through his tear-filled eyes, he saw the large baseball that had just sunk to the seabed now steadily hovering on the sea surface near the shore. Seawater continuously flowed off the surface of the sphere, reflecting a faint golden light in the setting sun. Master Roshi rubbed his tear-blurred eyes, blinked hard, and focused on the strange object. How did this thing float up by itself? Could it be, there's another beauty inside? The real gift must be coming next. Wah ha ha ha. Master Roshi was overjoyed. The next moment, Master Roshi shouted loudly, his voice filled with urgency and expectation, Sea Turtle. Sea Turtle. Come here quickly. Splash. The water broke, and Sea Turtle slowly swam over, stretching its neck and asking, Master Roshi, are you looking for me? Quick, let me ride you. Master Roshi called out. With that, Master Roshi didn't wait for Sea Turtle's reply but executed a light jump, landing precisely on Sea Turtle's broad yet clearly uncomfortable shell. Sea Turtle. In Sea Turtle's heart, it felt as if 10,000 magnificent steeds were galloping past. What splashed up was not water, but endless complaints. You called me over just to be a mount. This disrespectful old pervert. Absolutely shameless. But Sea Turtle ultimately didn't voice its thoughts, merely paddling its limbs resignedly. See that big baseball floating there? Quick, swim over and take a look. Master Roshi pointed ahead excitedly. Sea Turtle turned its head, squinted its beady eyes, and examined the sphere. Although grumbling inwardly, it obediently carried Master Roshi and swam vigorously toward the spacecraft. Soon, the man and the turtle approached the hovering vessel. Master Roshi eagerly clung to the smooth outer shell of the spacecraft, pressed his face against the observation window, and peered inside intently. He saw a small infant wrapped in a simple space suit, sleeping soundly with his head tilted, his little mouth slightly open, seemingly completely unaffected by the tremendous changes outside. The earth-shattering crash and the subsequent underwater journey seemed to be nothing more than an insignificant interlude in Brawly's dream. A baby. The excitement on Master Roshi's face faded, replaced by a trace of bewilderment and subsequent pity. He sighed softly, his white beard trembling slightly with the sigh. Alas, it seems like an unfortunate child, perhaps abandoned by his parents, placed in this strange baseball, drifting with the current. What a poor little fellow. Sea Turtle also came over to look, echoing a sympathetic sentiment. We can't just let him float in the sea forever, Master Roshi muttered, making a decision. First, let's get him ashore, and then we'll figure out a way to find a kind family to adopt him. How about, Master Roshi, you adopt him yourself? Sea Turtle suggested half-jokingly. Your house is so big, it would be livelier with one more person. What are you talking about? Master Roshi nearly jumped off Sea Turtle's back like a cat whose tail had been stepped on, glaring fiercely at Sea Turtle. I don't like children at all. They're noisy and troublesome. And besides. Speaking of which, Master Roshi lowered his voice, a lewd smile appearing on his face. If a beautiful young lady comes to discuss martial arts or life philosophy with me later, having a little brat around would be such a nuisance. I wouldn't be able to have fun. Sea Turtle rolled its eyes speechlessly, deciding not to continue this topic. The man and the turtle exerted some effort and finally dragged the spherical spaceship onto the beach. Master Roshi circled the metal sphere several times, tapping here and touching there. The smooth outer shell was seamless, with no obvious switches or latches to be found. Should I just smash this thing open with a punch? Master Roshi clenched his fist, his muscles bulging slightly. But soon, Master Roshi shook his head, dismissing this dangerous thought. No, my punches have no sense of moderation. What if I use too much force and accidentally damage the little one inside along with it? Looking at the baby still sleeping soundly inside the cabin, Master Roshi couldn't bring himself to be harsh because of its tender face. Since it couldn't be opened, Master Roshi decided to leave it alone for now and let the baby stay inside. Master Roshi, Sea Turtle patted the spaceship's outer shell with its claw, making a dull sound. Look at the material of this baseball. It feels cool and smooth, and its structure is very peculiar. It seems to have a high level of technology. Could it be from outer space? What? Are you worried that this little one was sent by aliens to conquer Earth? Master Roshi heard this and seemed to hear a huge joke, unable to help but put his hands on his hips and let out his characteristic, powerful, crazy laugh, looking up at the sky. Ha 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 ha. I am Master Roshi, known as the god of martial arts. Conquer Earth. Even if there are alien invaders, they'll have to deal with my fists first. Watch me beat them until they're crawling and rolling back to where they came from. Master Roshi's heroic laughter echoed on the beach, full of absolute confidence in his own strength. However, just then, creak. A clear sound of metal unlocking and air pressure releasing suddenly rang out, interrupting Master Roshi's laughter. The seamless spherical spaceship suddenly had a circular hatch slide open near its bottom. The next moment, under the astonished gaze of Master Roshi and Sea Turtle, a tiny figure, swaying unsteadily with the clumsy gait of a toddler, crawled out from inside the hatch. Brawly stood on the beach, seemingly unaccustomed to Earth's gravity and environment. His small body swayed slightly, then he raised his small hand and scratched his thick black hair in confusion. Master Roshi and Sea Turtle immediately fixed their gaze on this suddenly appearing little one. Brawly was wearing a strangely styled battle suit, and a furry tail unconsciously swayed gently behind his bottom. Master Roshi, look at his clothes, and that tail. Sea Turtle whispered with surprise. Indeed, the style is a bit peculiar. Master Roshi recovered from his initial surprise, carefully stepped forward, trying to appear amiable, putting on what he believed to be his kindest smile, squatting down, and softly asking, "Little one, what's your name? Where are you from? Can you speak?" Brawly lifted his clear, purely innocent eyes, looking at the bald, white-bearded old man with strange sunglasses in front of him, his small face full of bewilderment. Brawly tilted his head, seemingly trying hard to understand these unfamiliar syllables, but ultimately shook his head, making a few meaningless babbling sounds. It was fortunate that Master Roshi's attitude was amiable. Otherwise, Brawly would have beaten him to death. Alas, it seems he can't speak and doesn't understand, Master Roshi thought with pity upon seeing this. What a poor child, perhaps he was abandoned by his parents as a monster because of this strange tale. Brawly clearly couldn't understand Master Roshi's complex psychological activities. He only felt that the old man in front of him had no ill will, so he continued to scratch his ears and cheeks, curiously observing this unfamiliar environment and the man and turtle before him. Never mind, since we've met, it's fate, Master Roshi sighed, making a decision, and continued to speak to Brawley in a gentle tone. Little one, you can stay with me for a couple of days. After I inquire around, I'll find a good family to adopt you so you can have a stable home. How does that sound? Brawley still didn't respond. Just then, grr. A clear rumbling sound from his stomach suddenly came from Brawley's little belly. The sound was particularly loud on the quiet beach. Brawley immediately lowered his head, touched his protesting stomach with his small hand, and showed a confused expression on his face. Ha 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 ha. Master Roshi was amused by this innocent reaction. Are you hungry? Your stomach is rumbling. Brawley understood, immediately looked up, stared at Master Roshi with his big eyes, and nodded vigorously. You understand when it comes to food. What an honest little fellow. Master Roshi laughed and stood up. Come on, let's go home. I'll get you something to eat to fill your belly. Brawley's eyes visibly brightened, and he started his short legs, somewhat wobbly but determinedly following Master Roshi's footsteps. Master Roshi took Brawley back to the Kame house, which had just been washed by the waves. The interior of the house was still a bit damp and messy, but fortunately, the structure was solid, and the old refrigerator stubbornly stood in the corner. Master Roshi opened the refrigerator door, relieved to find that although the food inside was scattered, most of the packaging was intact and hadn't been soaked by seawater. Then, Master Roshi took out a pack of milk and shook it in front of Brawley. At your age, you should still be drinking milk, right? Where's your mother? Alas. I guess you wouldn't know even if I asked. Talking to himself, Master Roshi then skillfully placed the milk pouch into the microwave to heat it. While waiting for the milk to heat up, Master Roshi looked at Brawley's innocent little face. For some reason, Master Roshi's usual mischievous nature resurfaced. A suspicious blush crept onto his face as he leaned closer to Brawley, lowering his voice and speaking with a somewhat lewd smile. Ahem. Little guy, I gave you milk to drink, which counts as saving you, and I'm giving you food. When you find your mom later, remember to share your food with me, okay? Hee hee hee. Master Roshi. Sea Turtle, who was nearby, couldn't bear to listen anymore and covered his face with his claws. Can you not say such disrespectful things? He's still a child. What do you know, you Sea Turtle? Shut up. Master Roshi snapped back irritably. Ding. The microwave chimed, indicating it had finished heating. Master Roshi took out the warm milk, thoughtfully inserted a straw, and handed it to Brawley, pointing at the straw. Here, like this, suck on this straw, and you can drink the delicious milk. Brawley looked at the strange plastic straw, then at Master Roshi's demonstration, and seemed to understand. He reached out his small hand, somewhat clumsily holding the milk pouch, which was slightly too big for him. He put the straw in his mouth and carefully took a sip. The warm, milky liquid flowed down his throat, a gentle, sweet taste Brawley had never experienced before. Instantly, Brawley's small eyes widened, sparkling with surprise. Gulp, gulp. The next moment, Brawley no longer hesitated, beginning to suck greedily, his small face beaming with satisfaction and joy. Good, isn't it? Master Roshi watched him eat, chuckling triumphantly, not forgetting to remind him again, remember our agreement, share, share. Brawley couldn't understand any of that. At this moment, his entire focus was immersed in the delicious milk. In less than 10 seconds, Brawley had drunk the entire pouch of milk, not a single drop left. However, one pouch of milk was not even an appetizer for Brawley, who possessed a Saiyan physique and immense energy needs. Brawley released the straw, licked his lips, still wanting more, and pointed at his stomach again, looking at Master Roshi with eager eyes. Still not full. Master Roshi was stunned for a moment, scratching his bald head. There's not much milk left. At your age, you should be able to eat other things, right? How about trying some bread? With that, Master Roshi, somewhat uncertainly, took a piece of bread wrapped in a plastic bag from the refrigerator and handed it to Brawley. Brawley took the bread, and without even looking at the packaging, opened his mouth and took a big bite. He bit off a large chunk, plastic packaging and all. Oh no. That's the wrapper. You can't eat that. Master Roshi jumped in fright, hurriedly trying to stop him, snatching the plastic piece with teeth marks from his mouth. He then tore open the bread's packaging and handed the soft bread inside back to him. Eat this part, it's soft and sweet. Brawley looked at the unwrapped bread in his hand, hesitated for a moment, then stuffed it into his mouth again, swallowing it with hardly any chewing. After eating, Brawley's gaze began to search the refrigerator again. Still not full. Master Roshi was a bit dumbfounded. This time, Brawley didn't wait for Master Roshi to get more food. His gaze had already locked onto a vacuum-packed ham in the corner of the refrigerator. That deep red piece of meat held a fatal attraction for him. Brawley reached out his small hand, grabbed the ham, which was bigger than his face, and without hesitation, opened his mouth and started gnawing. Hey, you can't eat that packaging either. Master Roshi shouted urgently, trying to stop him. But Brawley seemed to have learned a little. He bit hard into the tough ham, cleverly peeling off the outer plastic packaging with his tongue and teeth, then spat it onto the ground with a tooey. Brawley ate with relish, his cheeks bulging, grease smudged all over his little face. A large piece of ham quickly disappeared into his small stomach. Brawley patted his still flat little tummy, his gaze once again turning to the refrigerator, where the remaining food seemed to beckon him. For the next half hour, Master Roshi, like a bystander, watched in astonishment as this little guy, like a whirlwind, devoured all the food stored in his refrigerator, enough for himself for a whole week, including but not limited to fruits, vegetables, dried fish, leftover fried rice, several cans of luncheon meat, completely clearing it out. Throughout the process, Brawley displayed a terrifying appetite and eating speed completely disproportionate to his small size. When Brawley finally patted his bulging little tummy with satisfaction, let out a burp smelling of milk and meat, and then unceremoniously lay down on the floor. He fell asleep almost instantly. As Brawley quickly began to emit soft, even snores, Master Roshi remained frozen in the rigid posture of reaching for the last cookie, dumbfounded. Master Roshi turned his head in disbelief, looking at the empty refrigerator, with not even a speck of food residue left, then slowly turned his head back to look at the tiny figure sleeping soundly on the floor, as if he had just finished a casual game. Master Roshi's mouth twitched, his face filled with shock, heartache, and a sense of utter absurdity. This little guy, he can really eat. He ate all of my week's worth of food. No wonder his parents abandoned him. With that appetite, even a family with a mind would be eaten into poverty, right? Looking at Brawley's innocent sleeping face, all of Master Roshi's emotions eventually transformed into a long and complex sigh. What an innocent child. But how much worry about future food reserves was mixed in that sigh, only he himself knew. What Master Roshi never expected was this. From that day on, this little guy named Brawley stubbornly stayed at his house and refused to leave. Initially, Master Roshi held the idea of temporary shelter, send away as soon as possible. He actively inquired on nearby islands and through old friends, hoping to find a kind, preferably well-off, family to adopt Brawley. However, as time went on, as Master Roshi spent more time with this little guy who, besides eating a lot, sleeping a lot, and having a tail, was usually exceptionally quiet, never crying or fussing. Just observing the world with a pair of pure, big eyes. A strange bond quietly formed. Master Roshi's seemingly cynical heart, which had actually been lonely for hundreds of years, gradually became filled by this unexpected little life. Watching Brawley's focused and satisfied expression as he ate, seeing his clumsy figure toddle across the beach chasing sea turtle, and listening to his steady breathing while he slept, Master Roshi suddenly felt that the island had gained a vitality and warmth he had never experienced before. Thus, the matter of finding an adoptive family was indefinitely shelved under Master Roshi's excuses like, let's observe him a little longer, or, let's see if there's a better family available. From then on, Brawley, the legendary Super Saiyan, officially settled down in the home of the god of martial arts on Earth. He lived there for over a decade, time flowing like water. Age 749. Warm sunlight spilled over the azure sea and the white sand beach. The sea breeze gently blew, bringing a salty and refreshing scent. Inside came house. Just like in many years past. Master Roshi was sitting cross-legged in front of the television, wearing his exaggerated, ever-present sunglasses and a colorful Hawaiian shirt, intently watching an aerobics program on TV. On the screen, young, beautiful girls were full of vitality. A familiar, infatuated smile hung on Master Roshi's lips, and drool was faintly visible. In stark contrast to the alluring scene inside, was the view on the beach outside. Brawley, now 17 years old, had long shed his baby fat, growing into a tall, muscular, handsome, and heroic-looking youth. His thick black hair fell loosely, naturally exuding an untamed, wild charm. At this moment, Brawley was engaged in his most important daily activity, performing it with an almost religious sense of ritual. Eating. Brawley was kneeling on a neatly spread blue picnic mat, his movements meticulous. In front of him, 25 clean, shining plates of varying sizes were neatly arranged. Each plate held different food, ranging from perfectly roasted beast meat and fried fish, to brightly colored vegetable and fruit salads, rice balls, and even a few small dishes that appeared to be dipping sauces. The combination of meat and vegetables was balanced, the colors coordinated, and the placement and spacing seemed precisely calculated. It was orderly, practically a work of art. Brawley carefully inspected all the plates, and only after confirming there were no flaws did he rub his hands together contentedly, pick up his utensils, and begin slowly, yet extremely quickly, to enjoy his feast. Brawley was very focused when eating, as if savoring the ultimate pleasure in the world. Every movement carried a sense of elegance that seemed mismatched with his robust physique. Regarding Brawley's years-long, unwavering dining ritual, Master Roshi had long since progressed from initial surprise and complaints, to numbness, and now to complete indifference. A wonderful tacit understanding had formed between them. Master Roshi watched his pretty young ladies. Brawley enjoyed his ritualistic feast. They didn't interfere with each other, both were well. This formed the unique and harmonious daily scenery on Master Roshi Island. However, the only thing that occasionally made Master Roshi feel a slight regret deep down was Brawley was now a 17-year-old young man, so it seemed impossible to share his unique baby food with him anymore. The Brawley in this book belongs to the Dragon Ball Super version, so he is the same age as Vegeta and older than Son Goku. Over the years, Master Roshi had naturally tried to guide Brawley onto the path of martial arts. More than once, Master Roshi had said to Brawley in what he thought was a tempting tone, "Brawley, look how strong your foundation is. Why don't you learn martial arts with me? It'll strengthen your body and make you really powerful. Maybe you could even become the guardian of Earth someday." However, every time, Brawley would shake his head and refuse without thinking, his tone flat yet firm. "No thanks, not interested." Brawley's greatest, perhaps only, interest seemed to be eating. Once full, he would find a comfortable place to sleep. After waking up, he would start pondering what to eat for the next meal and how to make that meal even more ritualistic. Master Roshi often felt utterly speechless about this, gazing at Brawley's increasingly robust back. "I'm raising a pig with strange obsessive-compulsive disorder." What Master Roshi didn't know was, the fighting power contained within this adopted son, who seemingly only ate, drank, and slept, never training, had already quietly climbed during his daily natural growth to a terrifying height that Master Roshi couldn't even imagine. The growth of the legendary Super Saiyan's power cannot be measured by common sense. Not training, is training. Just as Brawley was immersed in the pleasure brought by his 18th plate of delicacies. Splash. A splash sounded from the distant sea surface, followed immediately by a familiar figure, trembling with excitement, crawling out of the water onto the beach. Brawley. This is wonderful. I finally returned. Sea Turtle, who had been missing for over a year, was now tearful and choked up, its shell even covered in marks of hardship. Huh. Sea Turtle. Brawley lifted his head from his meal, revealing a gentle and pure smile upon seeing his long-lost friend. He held up the half-eaten roasted beast leg in his hand and asked, "Have you eaten?" "Not yet." Sea Turtle subconsciously shook its head. After traveling all this way, it was indeed starving. "Oh." Brawley nodded, then very naturally and decisively pulled the roasted beast leg back, guarding it in front of him, clearly setting boundaries. "These are all mine. You're not allowed to eat them." Sea Turtle. Sea Turtle's excitement was instantly replaced by speechless shock. "Then why did you ask if I had eaten? Was that purely a formality?" Sea turtle decided not to argue with the glutton, immediately paddling its limbs and hurriedly crawling into the house to find Master Roshi. Master Roshi. Master Roshi. I'm back. Sea turtle shouted excitedly. However, Master Roshi was currently engrossed in the graceful dancing of the young ladies on TV, his eyes glazed over and drool secretly pooling. How could he have time to pay attention to an old sea turtle who had just returned? Master Roshi casually waved his hand, as if shooing away a fly. Got it, got it. Talk later. Sea turtle sighed helplessly and lay down on the side, waiting patiently. It wasn't until the TV program finished and the words, "Thank you for watching," appeared on the screen that Master Roshi smacked his lips, still unsatisfied, took off his sunglasses, and acted as if he had just noticed Sea Turtle's presence. Huh. Sea Turtle. When did you get back? I thought some seafood restaurant had caught you to make soup. Master Roshi finally turned around, adjusted his glasses, and spoke in his usual tone. A child saved me. Sea Turtle quickly crawled closer and began recounting its experiences over the past year, its voice full of gratitude. That child, speaking of which, he has a tail, just like Brawly. A child with a tail. Master Roshi was slightly stunned. That certainly piqued his interest. That's right. His name is Son Goku, and he is a very innocent and kind child, the sea turtle continued. He saved my life, and I promised him I would repay him. You want to repay him? Master Roshi narrowed his eyes, drawing out his words, a knowing expression appearing on his face. So, what you mean is, you want me to go repay him for you. By the way, it's worth mentioning, the sea turtle slowly dropped the crucial information, that the child named Son Goku is accompanied by a very, very beautiful girl named Bulma. Repay. Of course, I must repay him properly. Master Roshi's expression changed instantly, the previous reluctance vanishing without a trace. He stood up abruptly, his face radiant, even showing a hint of eagerness. The kindness of saving a life is like rebirth. How can I not repay it? Wait here, I'm going to change into my handsomest clothes. With that, Master Roshi immediately rummaged through his belongings, finding a set of Hawaiian clothes he kept hidden away, which he thought was very fashionable, and quickly put them on. The sea turtle watched silently from the side, completely unfazed, and even felt like laughing a little. I knew it, as long as a beautiful girl is mentioned, this old pervert will be more proactive than anyone else. The man and the turtle finished tidying up, left the room, and came out onto the beach. Brawly was still kneeling in front of the picnic mat, completing the final tasks. He meticulously cleaned up the food from the last few plates, his movements maintaining that unique sense of ritual. Brawly, performing your sacred eating ritual again. Master Roshi leaned over, teasing him with a smile. Brawly nodded vigorously, his mouth still full of food, and mumbled an acknowledgement. The sea turtle said he met a little guy outside who has a tail just like you, named Son Goku. Master Roshi tried to invite him. How about it? Want to go take a look together? No. Brawly replied curtly without lifting his head, showing no hesitation. No one is allowed to disturb my meal. Even if the sky falls, it has to wait until I finish eating. Alright, suit yourself. Master Roshi had already expected this outcome. He patted Brawly's sturdy shoulder. The sea turtle and I are going out for a bit. You watch the house. Brawly waved dismissively to show he understood, his gaze never leaving the plate of honeyed fruit that was almost empty in front of him. Master Roshi chuckled, then expertly mounted the sea turtle's back. The sea turtle sighed resignedly, carrying the mischievous old man, and slowly swam into the ocean, heading toward the distance. About half an hour later, Master Roshi, riding the sea turtle, appeared on the coast again. However, the high spirits he had when leaving were gone, replaced by a complex expression on his face that mixed excitement and distress. Master Roshi's face was flushed, and 2 streams of bright red nosebleed snaked down from his nostrils like tiny creeks. He didn't bother to wipe them, his eyes were glazed over, and he wore a foolish grin, muttering incessantly, hee hee, blue hair, so cute, such a broad-minded girl, what did you show me, hee hee hee. Clearly, whatever Bulma showed him, caused an unprecedented visual and psychological impact on Master Roshi, the centuries-old man. Regarding Master Roshi's strange, distraught state and continuous bleeding, Brawly merely lifted his eyelids and glanced indifferently. After confirming that the guy could still walk and hadn't died, Brawley immediately refocused all his attention on the plate of dessert newly placed in front of him. In Brawley's opinion, everything paled in comparison to delicious food. And so, a few more peaceful days passed. On this day, the weather was fine, and the sky was crystal clear. Brawley, as usual, spread out his signature blue picnic mat on the beach and began a new round of the gourmet ritual. Master Roshi, meanwhile, was holding a broom, casually sweeping up sand and fallen leaves around the house. The sea turtle was lying leisurely on a reef, enjoying a warm sunbath. Everything seemed no different from countless days past. However, just at this moment, whoosh! In the sky, a soft, golden cloud broke through the air at an extremely high speed, heading straight for the small island. Two small figures were vaguely visible atop the cloud. Hey! Hey! A bright, energetic voice, characteristic of a young boy, carried clearly from the golden cloud far away, sounding distinct in the sea breeze. Who is that? Shouting so loudly. Master Roshi stopped sweeping, raised his head in confusion, shaded his eyes with his hand, and looked toward the sky. Brawley, who was focused on savoring a delicate pastry, was also disturbed by the sudden shouting. He frowned slightly, looked up toward the direction the flying nimbus was approaching, and gave a casual glance. Son Goku leapt down from the flying nimbus. Who did I think it was? Master Roshi recognized Son Goku. Isn't this the little guy the first gave the flying nimbus to? He's Master Roshi. Chi-Chi looked at Master Roshi with suspicion. Grandpa, how are you? Son Goku greeted him with a smile. I'm very well. Master Roshi nodded. The flying nimbus Grandpa gave me is really useful. Son Goku pointed to the flying nimbus behind him. Of course. An immortal gave it to me. Master Roshi smiled proudly. So an immortal gave it to you. Son Goku sighed with emotion. He suddenly noticed Brawley and quickly offered a friendly greeting. Hi, hello. Seeing that Son Goku held no ill will and didn't look like he wanted to steal his delicious food, Brawley simply nodded and then ignored him. As for the tail behind Son Goku, Brawley obviously saw it, but he wasn't interested. Brawley's greatest interest was eating. Is having a tail a big deal? I have one too. Strange guy. Seeing that Brawley ignored him, Son Goku stopped talking. Chi-Chi stepped down from the flying nimbus and examined Brawley with a strange expression, but didn't say anything. Hey, little girl who came with Goku, don't be so timid. Master Roshi called out, laughing. Look, when you look forward, you have to stick your chest out. Like this. As he spoke, Master Roshi demonstrated the action of puffing out his chest and raising his head. Chi-Chi's pretty face turned scarlet in shock. Grandpa, she is the Ox King's child, Son Goku said, pointing to Chi-Chi as an introduction. What? The Ox King's daughter? Master Roshi was slightly surprised. Her name is Chi-Chi, Son Goku continued. Oh, she doesn't resemble her father at all. Master Roshi looked up at the sky and sighed faintly. Hey, is this old grandpa really Master Roshi? Chi-Chi whispered suspiciously to Son Goku. Yes, he is, Son Goku confirmed with a nod. I'm going to test his skill. Chi-Chi said, gripping the axe on top of her helmet with both hands. Huh. Son Goku was momentarily stunned, not quite understanding. If he really is Master Roshi, he should be able to dodge the axe. Chi-Chi exerted sudden force and threw the axe from her helmet toward Master Roshi. Whoosh! The axe shot towards Master Roshi at an extremely fast speed. Master Roshi seemed to sense the fierce aura coming from behind him, executed a graceful turn, and tried to block the axe's attack with his staff. Crack! The sharp axe directly cut through Master Roshi's staff and immediately lodged itself in the top of his head. Ah, my staff. Master Roshi was on the verge of tears, howling in pain. Brawley. PFF'd. Brawley burst out laughing on the spot. It hurts so much. Master Roshi rubbed his head, feeling completely out of sorts. Are you alright? Sea Turtle hurried forward, asking with concern. PFF'd. Ha ha ha. Brawley, however, laughed heartily without a care. No laughing. I raised you this big. You care less about me than a sea turtle. Master Roshi glared, fuming with anger. Brawley quickly covered his mouth, trying to suppress his laughter. However, Brawley's shoulders were twitching, almost unable to hold it in. He's definitely not Master Roshi. Chi-Chi became even more suspicious of Master Roshi's identity. Idiot. You suddenly ambushed me, catching me off guard. Master Roshi angrily yelled at Chi-Chi. If you're Master Roshi, then show me proof. Chi-Chi looked up and argued. Look. My name is on this ID card. Master Roshi took out his ID card and showed it to Chi-Chi. Ah, so it's true. Chi-Chi was startled, quickly stepped on Master Roshi's face with one foot, pulled out the axe embedded in his head, and said apologetically, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Ah. Master Roshi winced in pain. My apologies. I truly failed to recognize a great person. Chi-Chi blushed and acted cute. I hate this kid. Master Roshi said grumpily. PFF'd. Brawly could no longer hold it in and burst out laughing. Master Roshi was quite annoyed, turning his head to glare at Brawly. I'm not laughing. Brawly quickly covered his mouth, his shoulders trembling even more violently. You say you're not laughing. Master Roshi grew even angrier, roaring furiously. However, Master Roshi's anger wasn't the problem. Blood instantly gushed from the top of his head. PFF'd. Old man, you look like you've grown red hair. Brawly smiled even more brightly. Master Roshi. Ha 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 ha. Son Goku also laughed heartily without a care. Master Roshi felt a wave of dizziness, swaying unsteadily. He accidentally lost too much blood. Why are you still standing there dumbfounded? Go get a band-aid. Master Roshi grumpily ordered Brawly. Brawly nodded, quickly ran into the room, and brought out a sanitary napkin, handing it over. Idiot. That's not a band-aid. Master Roshi glared, his face turning green with anger. There aren't any band-aids that big. Brawly shook his head. Master Roshi thought about it and realized he was right. Band-aids were so small, they wouldn't stick to the wound on his head. Apparently, using a sanitary napkin to stop the bleeding first was also a good option. By the way, does a woman live in this house? Chi-Chi asked curiously. No. Master Roshi, with Brawly's help, stuck the sanitary napkin to the top of his head and answered casually. No woman lives here, why do you have this? Chi-Chi became even more curious. Master Roshi. Master Roshi's old face turned red. Ahem. Well, that's not the point. Master Roshi coughed awkwardly, quickly changed the subject, and looked at Son Goku, asking, what do you two want with me? Oh no. I forgot about the important matter. Son Goku replied, Grandpa, do you have a banana leaf fan here? What do you need a banana leaf fan for? Master Roshi inquired. Lend it to me, to extinguish the great fire on Flaming Mountain. Chi-Chi quickly said. We'll return it immediately after using it, please lend it to us. Son Goku followed with his request. So it's the fierce fire of Flaming Mountain. Master Roshi's expression became a bit more solemn. I've heard that the banana leaf fan can indeed extinguish that fierce fire. After speaking, Master Roshi turned around gracefully, saying nothing more. Please, lend it to us. Chi-Chi bowed respectfully. What is Grandpa thinking? Son Goku scratched his head. Alright, I can lend it to you. Master Roshi nodded in agreement. That's great. Thank you. Chi-Chi jumped up and down happily. But, I have one condition. Master Roshi turned around and waved at Son Goku. Kid, come here for a moment. Son Goku pointed at his nose, a puzzled expression on his face. Yes, you, come here. Master Roshi nodded. Condition. Chi-Chi was surprised. What is it? Son Goku leaned over and asked. Brawly and Sea Turtle also came closer to watch the fun. I can lend you the banana leaf fan. Master Roshi chuckled, but that girl you were with last time, that one. Was it Bulma? Son Goku nodded thoughtfully. Yes, can you let me, hee, you know. Master Roshi revealed a wicked smile, his expression lewd, drooling. Master Roshi, what kind of talk is that? Sea Turtle couldn't listen anymore. Shish. Keep it down, everyone will hear. Master Roshi quickly gestured, look at Brawly, he hasn't said a word. Brawly just doesn't understand. Sea Turtle replied, then showed deep disdain for Master Roshi, sigh. How shameful. Don't say that. Master Roshi kept rolling his eyes, angrily shouting, I don't have many days left to live, just give me some comfort before I die. What dying comfort? Haven't you eaten the elixir of immortality? Sea Turtle stretched his neck, arguing forcefully. If you don't speak, no one will think you're mute. Master Roshi grew even angrier, suddenly feeling more dizzy, his body starting to sway, feeling a bit weak. Are you alright? Sea Turtle asked with concern. With this thing stuck on my head, why do I feel even dizzier? Master Roshi rubbed his head. It's said to have strong absorbent properties. Sea Turtle mused. Master Roshi. Master Roshi immediately felt completely out of sorts. Is this going to suck all my blood dry? I remember there was a large band-aid in the drawer. Sea Turtle continued. Why didn't you say so earlier? Master Roshi was truly furious. Fortunately, Master Roshi replaced it in time. Otherwise, he really would have died from excessive blood loss. Brawly. Are you trying to kill me? Master Roshi glared angrily at Brawly. Why do you have something so absorbent at home? Brawly, however, asked with a strange expression. Master Roshi. Master Roshi was speechless. Kid, what do you think of the condition I just mentioned? Master Roshi changed the subject, asking Son Goku again. Are you still thinking about what just happened? Sea Turtle felt genuinely speechless. Shut up. Do you believe I won't stew you and drink the soup? Master Roshi put his hands on his hips and shouted angrily. Sea Turtle curled his lip and said nothing more. Does sea turtle soup taste good? Brawly's eyes sparkled as he asked excitedly. Of course, Master Roshi nodded. It's highly nourishing. Ah. Brawly rubbed his chin, examining Sea Turtle up and down. Sea Turtle. I don't taste good. I don't taste good at all. Sea Turtle panicked, trembling with fear. If Brawly really ate him, that would truly be a tragedy for a turtle's life. Is that okay? I agree, and I think Bulma shouldn't object. Son Goku readily agreed on Bulma's behalf. You are truly generous. Master Roshi suddenly felt that this young man named Son Goku was wonderful. Saying this, Master Roshi glared fiercely at Brawly again. Look at Goku. Now look at you. Both of you have tails, so why is the difference between people so vast? Don't tell Chi-Chi about this, and certainly don't let Ox King know, understand? Master Roshi patted Son Goku's shoulder and whispered the instruction. Got it, Son Goku nodded. Good, then it's happily decided. I'll go get the banana leaf fan right now. Master Roshi was ecstatic and immediately ran into the room to retrieve the banana leaf fan. However, Master Roshi quickly poked his head out of the window. Brawly, do you remember where the banana leaf fan was? Master Roshi asked Brawly. I don't know. Brawly shook his head. Didn't you always use it as a pot holder? Sea Turtle asked. Pot holder. Chi-Chi wiped sweat. Was that the banana leaf fan? That's terrible. Master Roshi was stunned. Some wonton soup spilled on the banana leaf fan that day, and I thought it was too dirty, so I threw it away. Ah! Son Goku exclaimed. Threw it away. Chi-Chi's small face registered shock. He really doesn't make things easy. Sea Turtle sighed. Wah! We can't put out the fire now. Chi-Chi burst into tears. We won't get the Dragon Ball either, Son Goku sighed. It seems I'll have to go to Flaming Mountain myself to put out the fire. Master Roshi made his decision, his expression becoming more solemn. Chi-Chi stopped crying and turned her head to look at Master Roshi. Grandpa can put out that huge fire? Son Goku asked in surprise. Of course, it's no problem, I am Master Roshi. Master Roshi smiled proudly, then lowered his voice and whispered into Son Goku's ear, you must secretly tell Bulma about my condition from earlier. Okay. Son Goku readily agreed. Alright, prepare to set off. Master Roshi changed into a set of clean clothes. You specifically changed clothes. Son Goku looked at Master Roshi strangely. Of course, I have to dress presentably. Master Roshi acted normally, but his heart was filled with increasing anticipation. Grandpa can't ride the flying Nimbus, what should we do? Son Goku asked again. Haha, I am Master Roshi. Master Roshi laughed loudly, and shouted toward the sky, Turtle Son. Come. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. An alligator snapping turtle came whirling down from the sky and landed beside Master Roshi. Master Roshi, do you have any instructions? The alligator snapping turtle asked respectfully. Master Roshi directly mounted the alligator snapping turtle and instructed, take me to Flaming Mountain. Understood. The alligator snapping turtle nodded. Brawly, Sea Turtle, watch the house carefully. Master Roshi instructed. Hey, Don't embarrass yourself too much. Sea Turtle advised. Brawly said nothing, sitting back down on the picnic mat, ready to continue his meal. Son Goku was also a little greedy, leaning over to sniff. Do you want some? Brawly asked. Yes, I do. I do. Son Goku nodded excitedly. No. Brawly decisively refused. Son Goku. Alright, hurry up and go. Master Roshi urged. Fine. Son Goku reluctantly agreed. Whoosh. Both parties soared into the air and quickly vanished without a trace. As soon as Master Roshi left, Brawly once again examined Sea Turtle up and down. Sea Turtle couldn't help but shiver, trembling in fear, and hurriedly said, Brawly, don't do anything reckless. I really don't taste good. Think about it, how could my bathwater taste good? What you said makes a lot of sense. Brawly nodded thoughtfully, then stopped paying attention to Sea Turtle. Approximately an hour later, Master Roshi returned cheerfully. This time, Master Roshi looked delighted, as if he had eaten honey. However, what Master Roshi didn't know was, the girl he was fooling around with wasn't Bulma, but Oolong in disguise. But none of that mattered to Master Roshi anymore. In short, Master Roshi had a very enjoyable trip out. That girl named Bulma sure is unrestrained. A few days passed like this. Brawly was sunbathing on a beach chair. Suddenly, a golden cloud whistled toward them across the sky. Brawly recognized it immediately. It was that kid named Son Goku. Patap. Son Goku dropped down from the flying nimbus and first gave Brawly a friendly greeting. Brawly nodded and said nothing more. However, Brawly keenly noticed that the kid named Son Goku had also brought bedding. Grandpa, I'm here. Son Goku shouted loudly at the door, holding up his bedding. However, there was no sound from the room. Isn't Grandpa home? Son Goku asked. He is. Brawly replied with a single word. Son Goku leaned over to the window and saw Master Roshi watching TV inside the room, drooling profusely. Grandpa, I'm here. Son Goku stepped forward to greet him. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. Master Roshi ignored Son Goku, instead drooling and interacting with the young ladies on TV. Ah! Son Goku shouted loudly right next to Master Roshi's ear. Master Roshi jumped in surprise, landing on his butt on the floor, and turned his head to look at Son Goku in shock. Son Goku gave a silly smile. What are you doing? Master Roshi asked. Grandpa, I'm here to train, Son Goku quickly said. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Master Roshi waved his hand. Grandpa, I'm hungry. Son Goku patted his stomach. There's a refrigerator over there, eat whatever you want. Master Roshi pointed toward the refrigerator. Putting food inside such a strange box. Son Goku muttered, opening the refrigerator and starting to eat. Only after the TV program finished did Master Roshi stretch and climb up from the floor. When Master Roshi saw that Son Goku had eaten the refrigerator completely empty, he was genuinely speechless. Are all kids with tails this gluttonous? What exactly did you come here for? Master Roshi asked. The search for the Dragon Balls is over for now. As agreed, I've come to learn martial arts from you, Son Goku replied with a smile. Oh, I remember now. Master Roshi suddenly realized. I even brought my bedding, Son Goku chuckled, carrying his bedding inside. Master Roshi immediately walked out of the room and looked around. A brief moment of stunned silence. Hey, Brawly, have you seen a pretty and cute girl? Master Roshi asked anxiously. No, Brawly shook his head. Goku. Didn't your pretty female companion come? Master Roshi inquired. Are you talking about Bulma? She went back to the city, Son Goku replied. What a pity. Master Roshi felt a little disappointed, then turned to look at Son Goku and whispered, my requirements are very strict, you know. It's okay. I'm going to be even stronger than Grandpa Master Roshi in the future. Son Goku said with some anticipation. But my training isn't free, Master Roshi told Son Goku. Huh. Son Goku was taken aback. Go bring a lively and beautiful girl here, and I'll agree to let you train here, Master Roshi stated his condition. What's a lively and beautiful girl? Son Goku didn't understand. You don't even understand that. It means good looking. Master Roshi replied. Okay, so as long as I bring a lively and beautiful girl here, I can stay and train. Son Goku asked again. That's right, Master Roshi nodded seriously. Son Goku leapt onto the flying Nimbus. Huh. Your tail is gone. Master Roshi only then noticed that Son Goku's tail was missing. Yeah, I don't know where it went. Son Goku smiled indifferently, then rode the flying Nimbus and disappeared. After some time passed, Broly looked up and saw Son Goku bringing over a tall, plump woman. Grandpa, isn't she energetic? Son Goku grinned. Master Roshi. After some guidance, Son Goku set off again. This time, Son Goku brought back a beautiful girl. Master Roshi secretly glanced at her. The girl had long, flowing blue hair, a stunning figure, and an incredibly beautiful face. She was simply beyond words. However, this girl's appearance, why did it feel like he had seen her somewhere before? Broly also took a deep look at the girl. Goku, Goku. Master Roshi waved to Son Goku. Son Goku quickly jogged over, smiling, Grandpa, so you were here. You did great, you really are something, Goku. Master Roshi praised profusely. Can you teach me martial arts now? Son Goku asked excitedly. Alright, Master Roshi nodded. Let's start immediately. First, go get that girl's pants. This is the first and most basic training. Pants. Son Goku immediately ran off. But soon, Son Goku returned, holding nothing in his hands. You brat, why didn't you bring anything? Master Roshi scolded. Grandpa, do you know what a t-shirt is? Son Goku asked. So what if I do? Master Roshi said grumpily. She said she only has a t-shirt and isn't wearing pants, Son Goku replied truthfully. Master Roshi's eyes lit up, and his nose bled directly. No, just thinking about it makes me. What should I do? Son Goku asked. No choice, I'll personally demonstrate. Master Roshi smiled even more brightly. Great, I'm wearing sunglasses. That girl has no idea where I'm looking. Hi, what a lovely day. Master Roshi walked out from behind the house, waving to the girl. Yes, it is. Is there something you need from me? The girl said, her mermaid tail slightly swaying. Master Roshi. Another mermaid. The last one was very unfriendly. I wonder how this one is. So, if I may be so bold, can we be friends? I know many skills. Master Roshi said, blushing and a little embarrassed. My mom said, 17 years ago she met a perverted old man, and it turns out it was you. The mermaid glared angrily at Master Roshi. Master Roshi. You're the daughter of that mermaid from 17 years ago. Master Roshi wiped his sweat. Slap. Slap. The mermaid slapped Master Roshi twice with her tail, then dove into the seawater and disappeared. Master Roshi felt a pang of regret. So this is what training is like, Son Goku said, extremely excited. To defeat an enemy, you must first learn to be hit. Master Roshi adjusted his glasses and smiled. That makes sense. Son Goku nodded thoughtfully. Goku. I'll say it again, you need to bring a girl over, and this time, not one who's half fish. Master Roshi gave Son Goku the task again. I have to go again. Son Goku felt a headache coming on. That's why I said my training is very demanding. Master Roshi straightened his back and smiled. Yes, Son Goku nodded in agreement. Master Roshi sighed with emotion. Good thing that garrulous sea turtle went on a trip. That kid Broly doesn't like to meddle. I must seize this opportunity. Grandpa, something's coming this way. Son Goku suddenly pointed to the horizon. Is it the sea turtle? Master Roshi was startled. Broly also looked towards the horizon, his heart unmoved, and simply closed his eyes to continue sleeping. The next moment, Krillin rode a small boat, leapt from it, and did a somersault in the air. Splat! Krillin plunged headfirst into the sand, his entire head deeply embedded, his legs struggling incessantly. Goku, pull him up, Master Roshi instructed. Son Goku pulled Krillin out of the sand. Like Son Goku, Krillin had also come to become a disciple. However, Master Roshi's requirement was simple, they had to bring a beautiful girl. Fortunately, Son Goku and Krillin were quite capable, and soon brought Launch home. What a beautiful house, Launch exclaimed. Do you like it? Krillin asked with a smile. Grandpa, we brought a lively and beautiful girl back. Son Goku shouted loudly. Broly walked out of the room. Hi, hello, Broly, Son Goku greeted with a smile. Broly, where's Master Roshi? Krillin asked. In the restroom, Brawley replied, looking at Launch. Launch also sized up Brawley, and was immediately attracted by his handsome appearance. Her cheeks couldn't help but flush. Hello, my name is Launch. I'm 17 this year, please take care of me. Launch shyly lowered her head and introduced herself to Brawley. Hello, Brawley merely nodded, seemingly not very interested in this girl. And Son Goku also ran off to call Master Roshi. Launch, however, gazed at Brawley with a lovesick expression, suddenly feeling she had fallen in love at first sight with this handsome boy. Krillin. This guy named Brawley really is popular with girls. But it doesn't matter. He's just Master Roshi's adopted grandson. Master Roshi said he's never learned martial arts, and his biggest hobbies every day are eating and sleeping. Once I master martial arts, I'll definitely be popular with girls too. By the way, why did you bring me here? Is something going on? Launch asked Krillin, coming back to her senses after seeing Brawley go to the lounge chair to sleep. Nothing major, we just hope you can stay here for a while, Krillin said with a laugh. No problem. I was hoping to stay anyway, Launch said, blushing again and secretly glancing at Brawley. Krillin silently wiped his sweat. Also, I'm being pursued, Launch said with a smile. Pursued? Were those police officers after you? Krillin was startled. Weren't they bad guys? They were real police, Launch nodded. Huh. Krillin didn't quite understand and asked, why would the police be after you? You see this huge sum of money here. I've robbed banks and hijacked trains, Launch whispered, lowering her voice, afraid Brawley might hear and think she was a bad girl. You must be joking. You don't seem like the type to do such things, Krillin said with an awkward smile. Are you some kind of rich lady? You'd better be careful. My temper changes completely when I sneeze, Launch explained. So beautiful. Master Roshi suddenly appeared, overwhelmed with excitement. Launch was startled. Then, Master Roshi kept praising Son Goku and Krillin. You two did a great job. Is this enough? Son Goku asked. Hee. How about it? Both her figure and looks are excellent, right? Definitely above 97 points. Krillin whispered in Master Roshi's ear, lowering his voice. Master Roshi nodded vigorously and replied, alright, I agree to take you two in. Son Goku and Krillin jumped up and down excitedly. Welcome. Master Roshi stepped forward to greet Launch. And so, Launch settled down in Master Roshi's house. Son Goku and Krillin's training officially began. However, unlike before, Launch had her own little intentions. On one hand, it was to evade the police. On the other hand, it was to pursue Brawley. During the time Son Goku and the others were training, Launch prepared various delicious meals for Brawley in different ways. The delicacies Brawley had eaten before were mostly pre-made dishes Master Roshi had acquired. When had Brawley ever tasted freshly cooked food? Upon tasting it, Brawley immediately felt it was a heavenly delicacy. This is dumplings. Brawley pointed at the dumplings he was eating, feeling they were truly delicious. Huh. You've never had them? Launch asked curiously. I have, but they were like this, Brawley said, taking a bag of dumplings from the refrigerator. Those are frozen, how can they compare to freshly made ones? Launch smiled gently. Brawley ate heartily. Launch had made over 500 dumplings. Originally, this quantity of dumplings was meant to include Son Goku and the other two. But Brawley ate them all by himself. From that day on, Launch no longer wanted to make dumplings. Mainly because Brawley ate too fast. Making 500 dumplings alone was still very tiring. By the way, Brawley, aren't you going to train? Launch casually asked. If you train with Master Roshi, you might become the strongest in the world. I heard Goku and Krillin are both participating in the World Martial Arts Tournament. No, I'm not interested in training, Brawley shook his head and refused decisively. Is that so? It's fine. Anyway, you're Master Roshi's grandson, he'll protect you, he. Launch chuckled. But, I feel like the old man is really weak, Brawley scratched his head and muttered softly. Huh? What? Launch was startled, not hearing clearly. The old man is no good. If he really fought me, he might not be able to win, Brawley said with a silly smile. Ah, he's the god of martial arts. You absolutely must not think such thoughts, Launch quickly and cautiously advised. Otherwise, you might get beaten up. Brawley looked at Launch. Master Roshi looks ordinary on the surface, but he's actually very powerful. He just hasn't shown his great strength in front of you. Launch turned her head to look out the window, then lowered her voice. Enough talk, he's back. Indeed, Master Roshi returned from outside. However, upon seeing Brawly and Launch chatting and laughing, Master Roshi's old face immediately darkened. I told Goku and Krillin to find me a beautiful and cute girl. As a result, this beautiful and cute girl came back and settled here. But she ended up being a benefit to this brat, Brawly. I must have owed him in my previous life. You snatched my girlfriend. Launch, have you prepared dinner? Master Roshi asked. Ah, I'm preparing it now, I'm really sorry. Launch quickly stood up awkwardly and smiled. Why do I smell dumplings? Master Roshi sniffed around the room. Brawly was hungry, so I made him some frozen dumplings, Launch explained. You brat, all you do is eat and sleep. Master Roshi glared at Brawly irritably. Brawly, however, grinned and didn't get angry. Then I'll trouble you, Launch, please prepare more food. Goku and Krillin had a very hard training session today, Master Roshi said politely. Achoo. However, just as Master Roshi finished speaking, Launch sneezed. Master Roshi's face changed color, and he rushed out of the room at top speed to find a place to hide. In an instant, Launch transformed into a blonde beauty, her eyes turning evil. Launch immediately glared fiercely at Brawly. Brawly was not afraid in the slightest, staring back at Launch unblinkingly. The two briefly stared at each other for a moment. Suddenly, I think you look much better like this than with your dark blue hair, Brawly mused. Of course, I'm much prettier than that weak woman. Launch said, putting her hands on her slender waist and smiling triumphantly. Brawly nodded. Hey, you said last time you'd go on a date with me. Launch snorted, then stepped forward and grabbed Brawly's collar, pressing her mouth close. You have to keep your word. You're too close to me. Brawly scratched his head. I just like fresh young guys like you. Come here. Launch said, pulling Brawly by his collar and walking towards the room. Brawly. Outside, Master Roshi saw this scene and immediately showed a look of envy, jealousy, and hatred. This brat truly doesn't know how lucky he is. To have such a proactive girl. If it were me, I would be very happy. However, just as Launch domineering pulled Brawly into the room. Achoo. Launch sneezed and returned to her dark blue hair. Huh. I didn't do anything inappropriate, did I? Launch looked at Brawly awkwardly, quickly released her hand, and her face instantly turned bright red. No. Nothing. Brawly gave an awkward smile. Age 750. The World Martial Arts Tournament officially began. In the end, Master Roshi, disguised as Jackie Chun, won the championship. After the competition, Son Goku embarked on a journey to find the Dragon Balls. He fought the Red Ribbon Army, climbed Korean Tower, and battled the world's greatest assassin, Dao Pai Pai. However, Brawly did not participate, his greatest hobbies remaining eating and sleeping. Age 753. The 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament opened. Tien Shinhan won the championship, and Son Goku took second place. Brawly acted as a spectator for both of these World Martial Arts tournaments, going to watch the matches. Of course, during these 4 years, Brawly's battle power continued to increase wildly. If we had to assign a numerical value to Brawly's battle power, it's estimated that it has reached at least 10 billion. The battle power of the legendary Super Saiyan is truly this terrifying. And he never trains. However, Brawly suppressed his own immense energy within his body. Because of Master Roshi, Brawly had never experienced a berserk state since arriving on Earth. Perhaps Master Roshi's care for Brawly had subtly changed his volatile mentality. In fact, Brawly didn't even know how strong he was. In short, Brawly felt that Son Goku and the others seemed very weak. You train day and night, yet why do I feel like you can't beat me at all? Fortunately, Brawly wasn't very interested in fighting. Nobody provokes me, so why should I fight? Isn't it great to eat well, drink well, and sleep well every day? Isn't this the purpose of Kame school training? At the World Martial Arts Tournament venue. Everyone, see you again in 3 years. The referee announced loudly. The spectators at the venue gradually started leaving. Goku, here, take my clothes. Yours are already tattered, Krillin said with a smile. Thank you. Son Goku nodded. It's such a pity, Krillin sighed. It can't be helped. Losing is losing, Son Goku said, looking unconcerned. Are you really sure you don't want half the prize money? Tien Shinhan asked. I don't want it. Son Goku shook his head. I don't know how to spend money anyway. But you have the right to the prize money. Tien Shinhan looked a little embarrassed. I only won thanks to luck. Unfortunately, in terms of actual strength, I completely lost to you. Ha ha ha, luck is also part of strength, Master Roshi chuckled. Besides, Goku learned quite a few skills by meeting a strong opponent like you. He, exactly, Son Goku said, nodding with a smile. Well then, how about we all go out for a meal? Master Roshi suggested. Goku and Tien Shinhan will regain their strength after a good meal. Then let me treat everyone using my prize money, Tien Shinhan proposed. Maybe forget about that. Krillin wagged his finger and grinned. Don't you know we have 2 super eaters here? Saying that, Krillin glanced toward Brawly. Tien Shinhan paused slightly, not quite understanding. Ah, this is bad. Where is the power pole Grandpa gave me? Son Goku suddenly remembered his power pole. You don't have much strength left, right? I'll go get it for you. Krillin said, walking toward the room. Thanks. Son Goku nodded. I'm sorry, I was too rough on you. Tien Shinhan apologized to Yamcha again. Don't worry about it. I'm satisfied just not being killed, Yamcha smiled. What are your plans for the future? Where are you going? Master Roshi asked. If you're willing, come stay at my house. You're very welcome. Huh, no way. Launch was the first to object. If you let outsiders stay, Brawly and I won't be comfortable. Master Roshi. Master Roshi didn't dare speak up. Because the current Launch was in her blonde mode. Bulma. Bulma silently looked at Launch. For the past few years, Launch had been pursuing Brawly. But Brawly still hadn't caught on. The problem was, although Brawly was handsome, he was too lazy. And he didn't look strong at all. He wasn't even as good as Yamcha. What a pity, why didn't I visit Kame Island earlier that year? Brawly might have been mine then. Could I really not win him over with my charm? Such a good piece of fresh meat, wasted on Launch. Bulma was thinking a bit too much at the moment. Ah, I appreciate the offer. Tien Shinhan wiped his sweat. Although I betrayed my master, we are still Master Shen's disciples. We can't shamelessly go and live with you. It's nothing. Master Roshi waved his hand. Since Launch objected, what more could I say? Xiaosu and I will go live somewhere else, Tien Shinhan replied. Ah. Just as they were speaking, a sharp, miserable scream came from inside the room. What was that sound? Master Roshi had a bad feeling. Brawly immediately looked towards the room as well. That was Krillin's voice. Son Goku's expression changed, and he rushed toward the room. Krillin, what happened to you? Everyone rushed into the room together. Inside the room, Krillin lay motionless on the ground, his eyes open and vacant. The referee was slumped on the floor, apparently injured as well. Krillin, what's wrong? Hey! Son Goku quickly stepped forward to check Krillin's injuries. A monster snatched a strange ball from the bag, the referee said weakly. And he also stole the martial arts tournament participant list. A dragon ball in the list. Master Roshi was stunned. He's dead. Son Goku's expression was grave. What? Master Roshi was shocked. Brawly was also slightly moved. That little bald guy was actually beaten to death. Krillin was murdered. Son Goku gritted his teeth in anger, trembling all over. What the hell happened? Yamcha hadn't completely recovered from the shock. It was a monster. Master Roshi said solemnly. And it took Goku's Dragon Ball in the martial arts tournament list. Krillin tried desperately to stop him, but he was still killed by that monster. The referee's voice was low. That despicable fool. I won't forgive him. Son Goku was overwhelmed with grief and indignation. He grabbed the power pole from the floor, tied it to his back, and turned to Bulma, demanding, Bulma, did you bring the dragon radar? Huh. I brought it. Bulma wiped a tear and quickly answered subconsciously. Wait a minute. Goku. Master Roshi quickly tried to stop him. Flying Nimbus. Son Goku stepped forward, snatched the dragon radar from Bulma's hand, and summoned the flying Nimbus. Hold it. I order you to wait. Master Roshi shouted. However, Son Goku stepped onto the flying nimbus and quickly shot into the sky, disappearing almost instantly. That reckless idiot. Master Roshi immediately chased outside, looking up at the vanished Son Goku, his voice low. That guy defeated Krillin easily. Goku used up all his strength in the World Martial Arts Tournament, how could he possibly be a match for that monster? This is truly unexpected. Tien Shinhan stepped forward and picked up Krillin, feeling a bit upset. Broly silently walked over, saying nothing. There's a piece of paper here, maybe it's related to the guy who killed Krillin. Oolong picked up a piece of paper from the ground and muttered softly. Bulma took the paper, examined it carefully, and mused, there's a character, demon, inside a circle on this paper. What does it mean? Hearing this news, Master Roshi's old face sank, and his expression became extremely grim. What did you say? Master Roshi hurriedly went forward, took the paper, and scrutinized it. When he saw the characters on the paper, Master Roshi's face instantly turned incredibly pale, and the hand holding the paper trembled. What's wrong, old man? Broly asked with concern. Could it be, how could this happen? Master Roshi's voice grew even deeper. What exactly is going on? Bulma asked. This is King Piccolo's emblem. A deep fear emerged in Master Roshi's eyes. King Piccolo. Bulma was stunned. I've heard of this person. Tien Shinhan's face broke into a sweat. A long time ago, this King Piccolo turned the world into a terrifying hell, but King Piccolo cannot reappear in this world, Master Roshi said gravely. He is an extremely evil guy, and his power is incredibly strong, no one can contend with him. He and the monsters he created plunged the world into the abyss of death in a very short time. Everyone present was astonished. Master Shen and I were still very young then, and even our Master Mutaito was no match for him, Master Roshi continued. However, Master Mutaito was unwilling to let this demon dominate the world and do as he pleased, so he came up with the ultimate move. That was the evil containment wave. In the end, Master Mutaito sealed King Piccolo in a rice cooker, and the master also exhausted all his energy, paying the price with his life. Everyone fell silent. But, how could King Piccolo escape again? Master Roshi felt perplexed. I personally sank that rice cooker to the bottom of the sea. Could Master Shen have done it? Xiaosu asked. No. Absolutely not, he knows how terrifying King Piccolo is. Master Roshi decisively shook his head. If the murderer who killed Krillin is really King Piccolo's subordinate, then Goku is in danger, Yamcha said gravely. Goku, please don't die. Master Roshi's face grew even uglier. It's best if Goku doesn't find the monster who killed Krillin, Tien Shinhan sighed. He will find him, because he has the Dragon Ball radar, Launch replied. What do you mean? What is the Dragon Ball radar? Tien Shinhan was startled. I'm worried about the things he stole. Master Roshi frowned slightly and said gravely, the Dragon Ball and the World Martial Arts Tournament roster, what exactly does he want to do? Let's wait for Goku here, Broly suggested. Alright, Master Roshi nodded in agreement. Time passed minute by minute. The sky gradually darkened. However, Son Goku had not yet returned. Goku, please come back. I should have never given him the Dragon Ball radar, Bulma prayed silently, filled with regret. Still not back by now, perhaps Goku has been killed. Master Roshi's expression was tragic. Let's go home first, we still need to bury Krillin. I don't care who this King Piccolo is. I'm going to plan a strategy and then eliminate him. Yamcha clenched his fists, filled with righteous indignation. What nonsense are you talking about? Who can deal with such a powerful guy? Bulma yelled angrily. If you go, won't you just be throwing your life away for nothing? He has the martial arts tournament roster, we're all being targeted anyway, Yamcha said gravely. Bulma thought about it and realized he had a point. She was speechless for a moment. That's right. So it has nothing to do with me. Good thing I didn't participate in the World Martial Arts Tournament. Oolong breathed a slight sigh of relief. Idiot. After he conquers the world, will you still have a peaceful life? Bulma scolded angrily. Do you know what kind of technique the evil containment wave used by Master Mutaito in the past was? Tien Shinhan turned to ask Master Roshi. No. I don't know, Master Roshi shook his head. How about we call the police? The referee suggested. The police are no match for him, it would only cause panic in society, Master Roshi sighed. Let's think of something else, the few of us. If Goku returns, tell him we've gone home. Understood. I believe you will definitely save this world, the referee nodded. Are you still willing to let us go together? Tien Shinhan asked. Of course, it would be even better if you could come, Master Roshi naturally welcomed them. Ah. This is terrible, my future is completely dark. Oolong sniffled, wanting to cry. So annoying. It's not just your future. Launch was quite annoyed. After speaking, she looked at Brawly, who was gazing at the starry sky, and quickly asked, Brawly, what are you looking at? Nothing. I don't think that King Piccolo guy is anything special. I should be able to beat him, Brawly mused. Everyone present collectively turned to stone, focusing their gaze on Brawly. Brawly felt a bit embarrassed by being stared at and couldn't help but let out a goofy laugh. Brawly, don't talk nonsense. Master Roshi's voice was low. You've never trained, you just eat and sleep. Never mind, I won't talk about you anymore. I'm serious, Brawly scratched his head. Shut up. Go home first. Master Roshi scolded him impatiently. Brawly quickly covered his mouth and said no more. Let's take it one step at a time. If that guy named King Piccolo dares to provoke me, I don't mind swatting him dead. Bulma threw out a universal capsule. Bang! The universal capsule transformed into a jet helicopter. Everyone boarded the helicopter. Soon, Brawly and the others returned to Master Roshi's island. They waited another night. Son Goku still hadn't returned. Everyone felt a bit uneasy. Goku still hasn't returned by now, there's a high chance he's met with an accident. After all, he had already used up almost all his energy when he fought Tien Shinhan at the World Martial Arts Tournament. But even a peak Goku is no match for King Piccolo. Master Roshi sighed with regret, gently shaking his head. The Dragon Balls you mentioned earlier, if we find all 7, can they grant any wish? Tien Shinhan changed the subject and asked curiously. Yes, but only one wish can be granted, and that wish is to revive Krillin. Bulma took a sip of water and nodded gently. However, the wish we need to make now, should ideally be to destroy King Piccolo, Yamcha suggested. If we succeed, we can get rid of this demon. Once a wish is granted, the Dragon Balls turn into stone. So, reviving Krillin will have to wait a year, Puar said, sweat dripping from his cat-like face. His body would rot by then, wouldn't it? Oolong's mouth twitched, and he gave a dry laugh. What if he's revived as a skeleton? What then? Brawly glanced at Oolong, and a scene couldn't help but flash in his mind. Krillin, now a skeleton, was greeting him. Brawly patted his forehead. I should stop thinking about these strange things. The person is dead. The old man said, respect the dead. You don't have to worry about that. I can make a freezing capsule to preserve Krillin's body, Bulma mused, then turned to Oolong. Should we put Oolong in it too? I'm not dead yet. Oolong rolled his eyes. It's light gray. Master Roshi suddenly spoke, adjusting his sunglasses. Huh? What are you saying, Master Roshi? Puar asked, a little excited. What kind of tactic is it? Yamcha also got excited. The old man was talking about Bulma's color. Brawly pointed at Bulma, nodding in evaluation, it is indeed light gray. Bulma suddenly realized and quickly covered her skirt. Bang! Bang! Bulma punched Master Roshi and Brawly, knocking them both to the ground, and angrily scolded, the world is about to be ruled by demons, and you two still have the mind to look at indecent things. I just wanted to lighten the atmosphere of grief and indignation, Master Roshi said, lying on the ground with a large bump on his head, looking troubled. We don't need you to lighten it. Bulma reprimanded angrily. Me? What does it have to do with me? Brawly rubbed his head and got up. You still have the nerve to say that. You used to be so innocent. Did that old geezer Master Roshi corrupt you? Bulma glared at Brawly. Brawly, so you like light gray. I'll go change right now. Launch stepped forward, winking at Brawly repeatedly, her golden wavy long hair accentuating her fiery figure. That's not what I meant. Brawly was a little embarrassed. Or do you only like looking at Bulma's? Launch put her hands on her hips, glaring at Brawly. Bulma. Bulma covered her face, unable to listen anymore. This matter is never going to end, is it? Anyway, let's find the 7 Dragon Balls first. Although it's very dangerous, we can't not do it, Master Roshi said, stating his thoughts. I'll go change into that. Launch turned and prepared to go upstairs. Brawly. You're actually going to change. However, just as Launch reached the staircase, she heard a news report on TV and immediately stopped. This is Mr. Namu, who was murdered. The TV news showed Namu's photo. According to eyewitnesses from his family and villagers, the murderer is a strong and terrifying monster. It is said that a piece of paper with the character, demon, was left at the scene. The purpose of this person is currently under further investigation. Everyone fell silent. They act so fast, Launch mused. Is that Namu? Yamcha's face was sweating. Namu participated in the previous World Martial Arts Tournament and lost to Son Goku in the second round. Other contestants on the list are also in danger, we must notify them immediately. Yamcha clenched his fists and said loudly. Wasn't that roster stolen? If we want to contact them, we don't know where they live. Master Roshi shook his head. Ah. Yamcha thought about it and realized he was right, momentarily speechless. Warning them through the news media would cause panic worldwide, which is really bad, Tien Shinhan said, gritting his teeth, filled with unwillingness. It's dangerous for us here too, let's move somewhere else first, Master Roshi suggested, then asked Bulma, how long will it take to make a new Dragon Ball radar? At least half a day. Bulma answered seriously. Once the radar is ready, we'll immediately jump into battle and search for the Dragon Balls, Master Roshi decided decisively, making the arrangements. I still think, why bother? Why not just beat him to death? Brawly muttered again. Say less. Do you really think King Piccolo is that easy to deal with? Master Roshi scolded him irritably. I'm not interested in finding Dragon Balls, I want to stay. Brawly replied, I'll stay here and guard the house. To prevent it from being stolen. What are you talking about? If you stay here, King Piccolo will come knocking sooner or later. Master Roshi angrily retorted. Isn't that perfect? Let me deal with him. Brawly rubbed his fists together, a smile spreading across his face. No. You have to do your part in finding the Dragon Balls. Bulma snorted. Let's go together, Brawly. Yamcha also tried to persuade him, if you stay here alone, we won't feel at ease. If you want food, I'll get some capsules and pack them for you, Master Roshi sighed. Alright. Brawly thought for a moment, finally nodding in compromise. What a sin. Did I owe this kid in my last life? Master Roshi sighed to the heavens and went to get capsules to pack pre-made meals for Brawly. Next, Bulma didn't idle either and immediately started making the Dragon Ball radar. 8 hours later, the Dragon Ball radar was completed as scheduled. Whoosh! Launch piloted the jet helicopter high into the sky. Brawly, left with no choice, had to go along. Looks like we'll need a lot of freezing capsules, Launch said, a mischievous smile on her face. You all have been a great help here, Master Roshi said to Tien Shinhan with a serious tone. But, to face an opponent even stronger than Goku. Tien Shinhan felt a bit unsure. If only Goku were still alive. Bulma sniffled sadly. After several hours of effort, Master Roshi and the others finally managed to collect 4 Dragon Balls. Inside the small airplane, Brawly, Master Roshi, Tien Shinhan, and Xiaosu gathered together and headed toward the location of the next Dragon Ball. Bulma, Yamcha, Oolong, Puar, and Launch, meanwhile, took another plane back first to make the freezing capsules. Originally, Master Roshi had intended for Brawly to go with Bulma and the others. However, Brawly had a bad feeling, refused Master Roshi's kind offer, and shamelessly tagged along. We collected 4 Dragon Balls quite easily, Tien Shinhan remarked. Master Roshi nodded, musing, it seems they aren't so keen on searching for the Dragon Balls, but rather put great effort into eliminating martial artists, even Gilan was killed. Perhaps the 5th Dragon Ball we are looking for is in the hands of the guy who killed Krillin, Tien Shinhan guessed. If so, we must fight him to the death. Master Roshi's expression grew solemn. But this is bound to happen sooner or later, there's no escaping it. However, if we attack head-on, we cannot win. We can only find a way to seize the Dragon Balls and ask Shenron for help. We must have Shenron eliminate King Piccolo. Brawly was eating nearby, paying them no mind. Is this the only passive way? Tien Shinhan felt indignant. I still hope to achieve victory through battle. I understand how you feel, but that guy's power is beyond your imagination. Master Roshi shook his head and said gravely, even if we give it our all, we cannot be his match. Asking Shenron to eliminate King Piccolo will resolve the world crisis. The Dragon Balls can be found again in a year, and then Krillin and the others can be revived. What if we use the evil containment wave? Tien Shinhan suddenly asked. Don't entertain such foolish thoughts. Master Roshi immediately scolded. If we fail, what will become of this world? Will we leave it to this unreliable brat, Brawly, to protect? Brawly. Old man, say what you need to say, but why drag me into it? Brawly was speechless. I understand. Tien Shinhan's voice was low, but he was already calculating in his mind. Master Roshi's reaction indicated that he knew how to use the evil containment wave. The Dragon Ball is right ahead. Master Roshi looked at the signal on the Dragon Ball radar and quickly called out. The plane slowly landed on the lawn ahead. Brawly and the others went down together to search for the Dragon Ball. 5 minutes later. Found it. Brawly picked up the Dragon Ball and shook it above his head. This is the 5th Dragon Ball. You brat, you're finally of some use. Master Roshi nodded in satisfaction. However, you really shouldn't have come with us. When the fight starts later, hurry up and find a place to hide. Got it, old man. Brawly grinned, looking unconcerned. In that case, one of the remaining 2 Dragon Balls is in King Piccolo's hands, Tien Shinhan mused. Exactly, we must be even more careful. Master Roshi took out the Dragon Ball radar to look at it, and his face instantly changed color. What's wrong, old man? Brawly asked. Those 2 Dragon Balls have already gathered together. And they are heading straight in our direction. Master Roshi's face grew increasingly ugly, and cold sweat dripped down his cheeks. In that case, is King Piccolo coming? Tien Shinhan gritted his teeth and clenched his fists tightly. We need to leave here first. Master Roshi decided instantly. Tien Shinhan and Xiaosu immediately boarded the small jet helicopter. Brawly, you stay here. Master Roshi ordered Brawly. What are you doing, old man? Don't do anything rash. Brawly frowned. You haven't trained. If you follow us, you'll just die for nothing. Master Roshi patted Brawly's shoulder earnestly. It wasn't easy for Grandpa to raise you this big, make sure you live well. Stop whining, old man. I'm coming with you. Brawly ignored him completely and stepped onto the helicopter. Master Roshi. Master Roshi hesitated, knowing that Brawly absolutely wouldn't leave. Does this kid know what I'm planning? But even if you know, what difference does it make? You never liked training when you were little. Although I feel your potential is immense. But without training, all you do is eat and sleep. You probably don't even know how to fight, right? The plane took off, rapidly ascending into the blue sky. Master Roshi carefully examined the Dragon Ball radar, his expression growing more solemn. He took off his sunglasses and pondered, they're coming, they're heading toward us. We won't gain the upper hand by fighting them directly. We must find a way to snatch those 2 Dragon Balls and combine them with our 5 to summon Shenron. Our wish will be, please eliminate King Piccolo from this world. Understood. Tien Shinhan swallowed hard and nodded seriously. Old man, isn't that wish a bit long? Brawly scratched his head and mused. I remember when Goku first went collecting Dragon Balls, they mentioned that some guy's wish was too long, so Oolong snatched it and wished for a pair of women's panties. Master Roshi. Brawly has a point, Tien Shinhan responded. Then let's change the wish to eliminate King Piccolo. 7 characters should be easy to say. Agreed. Master Roshi nodded, indicating that was fine. The plane entered a plain area and slowly began to descend. Brawly, turn the plane into a capsule, Master Roshi instructed. Brawly did as told. Ha! Master Roshi, however, smashed his fist into the grass below, leaving a pit in the ground. Brawly, bury all the Dragon Balls in this pit, Master Roshi told Brawly. Brawly carried the Dragon Balls over and tossed them into the small pit. This way, the Dragon Balls won't be easily discovered, Master Roshi mused. Brawly immediately covered the pit, clapped the dirt off his hands, and casually pulled out a chicken drumstick to start eating. Master Roshi. At a time like this, you can still eat. Master Roshi scolded irritably. I'm hungry. Brawly smiled apologetically. Listen carefully to what I'm about to say. Master Roshi's expression grew more serious. Xiaosu and Brawly, you two hide behind that rock. Tien Shinhan and I will try to snatch King Piccolo's Dragon Balls when he comes to look for ours. Then we'll throw those 2 Dragon Balls to you. Once you catch them, immediately combine them with the 5 buried Dragon Balls and summon Shenron. You know the spell for summoning Shenron, right, Brawly? It's, come forth, Shenron, right? Brawly asked. That's right. Once Shenron appears, make your wish immediately. Master Roshi finalized the plan, checked the Dragon Ball radar, and called out, alright, they'll be here any second. Move now. Immediately, Brawly followed Xiaosu and hid behind the rock over there. Master Roshi and Tien Shinhan, meanwhile, hid behind a different rock. Do. Before long, the sound of a mechanical engine could be heard in the sky. They're in the sky. They're riding a spaceship. Tien Shinhan's expression changed slightly. It seems they don't intend to land. Maybe they plan to keep those 2 Dragon Balls on the ship. If that's the case, we'll jump up and seize them when he's not paying attention. Master Roshi looked up at the large spaceship, his brow furrowing slightly. Aboard the spaceship, King Piccolo and his henchman Piano were also looking down. Pilaf and his trio were also with King Piccolo. On the surface, there's nothing. Pilaf craned his neck and looked carefully below. They're hidden. King Piccolo chuckled softly, clutching the 2 Dragon Balls in his hand. They must be after my 2 Dragon Balls as well. I feel safer holding onto them myself. Saying this, King Piccolo stuck out his long tongue and gently placed the 2 Dragon Balls onto it. Then, King Piccolo put the Dragon Balls in his mouth and swallowed them whole. Is that King Piccolo? He ate the Dragon Balls. Tien Shinhan's third eye was particularly useful, and he couldn't help but gasp softly. Wah! What did you say? Master Roshi's face turned extremely grim. That's terrible. He's incredibly cunning. It looks like we won't be able to get the Dragon Balls unless we defeat him. There is no other way but to fight. Tien Shinhan stripped off his vest, revealing his sturdy back, preparing for a fight to the death. You step back first, I'll handle him. Master Roshi's tone was solemn as he waved his hand at Tien Shinhan. I won't die, I drank the immortality water. Stop joking around. Tien Shinhan snapped impatiently. Don't you know why I came here? I need to fight. PFFT. Master Roshi took out a small bottle and sprayed some sleeping gas directly onto Tien Shinhan's face. Wah! What are you doing? Tien Shinhan looked bewildered. Thud. The next moment, Tien Shinhan collapsed on the spot, his consciousness rapidly fading. I'm sorry, but take a nap first. Master Roshi dragged Tien Shinhan deep into the cave and hid him well. I don't want any more meaningless sacrifices. There is no immortality water, I lied to you. Goku is already gone. If I die, you'll be the only one left who can defeat the great Demon King. But you still have a long way to go. Train hard, and one day you will defeat him. With that, Master Roshi stepped out. After taking 2 steps, Master Roshi slowly stopped again. Remember to look after Brawly for me. He is the only relative I have left in this world, Master Roshi said solemnly. After speaking, Master Roshi greeted Brawly and Xiaosu, who were standing in the distance. Brawly. Xiaosu, did you hear that? Master Roshi quickly asked. We heard you, old man. Brawly nodded in response. Cancel the original battle plan. No matter what happens, neither of you should come out. Master Roshi's tone was grave. Old man, are you planning to? Brawly frowned, his sense of foreboding growing stronger. Brawly, take care of yourself. Master Roshi smiled kindly at Brawly again. Immediately afterward, Master Roshi stepped out of the cave without the slightest hesitation. Come down, King Piccolo. The Dragon Balls are here. Master Roshi looked up and shouted at King Piccolo in the sky. It's quite something that you recognized me. King Piccolo was slightly surprised, then smirked contemptuously. But anyone who knows I am King Piccolo and still dares to challenge me must be insane. HMPH, your courage is commendable. Thwack. King Piccolo leapt down from the spaceship, slowly landing next to Master Roshi. All the Dragon Balls you collected are buried right here. Master Roshi pointed to the spot where the Dragon Balls were hidden, telling King Piccolo the truth. If you can defeat me, they are all yours. Don't be shy. HMPH. King Piccolo sneered. What an interesting old man. Let's see how long you can keep laughing, Master Roshi said, the corner of his mouth twitching upward. Ha 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 ha. Did I hear that right? You actually want to fight me, King Piccolo? King Piccolo laughed as if he had heard the most ridiculous joke in the universe. His green face twisted with extreme mockery, his grin growing wider, and his voice echoed shrilly like a night owl across the desolate wilderness. You clueless fool. Are you really unaware of my legendary, terrifying deeds? How dare you boast so shamelessly here? This isn't the first time I've seen you. Facing King Piccolo's maniacal laughter, Master Roshi remained exceptionally calm. He slowly removed his sun hat, revealing his bald head, his eyes sharp as an eagle's, and his voice low and certain. HMPH, don't talk nonsense here, old man. King Piccolo let out a series of cold snorts, the corner of his green mouth curving into a cruel smile. He clearly didn't believe Master Roshi. Are you trying to scare me with such a clumsy lie? Utterly ridiculous. I am not talking nonsense. Master Roshi's tone grew heavier, as if every word carried a grave memory. He slightly narrowed his eyes, his gaze seemingly piercing through time, back to that war-torn era. A long time ago, my master and I fought against you together. That was a fierce showdown concerning the fate of the world. Wah! What? King Piccolo's wild grin instantly froze on his face, as if struck by an invisible bolt of lightning. His body trembled almost imperceptibly. Instantly, a nearly forgotten fear, originating from the depths of King Piccolo's soul, quietly spread. Let me tell you my master's name. Master Roshi suddenly stepped forward, his voice rising sharply with solemnity and determination, even showing a smile mixed with pride and sorrow. He is none other than Master Mutaito. Wah! What? Mutaito? King Piccolo's hideous green face instantly lost all color, becoming deathly pale green, as if he had heard the most terrifying curse in the world. That name, that figure, that sealed memory of humiliation, surged forward like a tide. It nearly suffocated King Piccolo. Snap! Just as King Piccolo's mind was reeling and he exposed a massive weakness, Master Roshi moved with lightning speed, displaying an agility inconsistent with his elderly body. He quickly pulled out a universal capsule, pressed his finger firmly, and threw it onto the empty ground ahead without hesitation. Bang! A light sound accompanied a puff of white smoke. The universal capsule instantly expanded and transformed, turning in the blink of an eye into an old-fashioned rice cooker with an antique design, covered with several mysterious rune seals. The rice cooker stood silently there, yet it emitted a terrifying aura. A rice cooker. King Piccolo's gaze fell upon the familiar, nightmarish object, instantly terrifying him out of his wits. His massive body shook uncontrollably, and his voice trembled. See, could it be? Could this be that thing? You should still remember how, long ago, Master Mutaito sealed you inside a rice cooker just like this, shouldn't you? Master Roshi's hair and beard bristled as he roared deafeningly with all his might, his voice filled with righteous fury and resolute determination. History will repeat itself. This time, you still won't escape the tragic fate of being sealed. Ah, no. King Piccolo was genuinely terrified, the fear originating from the depths of his soul overwhelmed all arrogance and anger. At this moment, King Piccolo disregarded the dignity of a demon king, letting out a shrill scream. His inner energy burst forth wildly, and he hurriedly shot into the air, like a startled giant bird, desperately trying to flee the place that was about to become his cage once more. Evil containment wave. Master Roshi's gaze was sharp, locking onto the green figure trying to escape in the sky. He traced mysterious patterns with his hands across his chest, his entire body's ki surged like boiling water, condensing in his palms, ready to unleash this life-staking sealing technique. Old man. Don't do anything foolish. In the nick of time, a figure flew over at a speed faster than the eye could follow. It was Brawly. Brawly had a hint of urgency on his face and completely ignored the terrifying condensed energy. One hand shot out like lightning, accurately pressing down on the back of Master Roshi's ready head, and then mercilessly pushed down hard. Thud. With a muffled crash, Master Roshi's old face made intimate contact with the solid ground without any cushioning. The immense impact even left a clear, shallow human-shaped crater in the ground, and dust billowed slightly. Master Roshi. In an instant, Master Roshi felt like his old back was about to break, his head was buzzing, and golden stars swam before his eyes. Master Roshi lay in the crater, his mental state nearly shattered, fragmented into dust. That rebellious grandson, that fool kid. Master Roshi roared silently in his heart. If I hadn't raised you from infancy, I would seriously suspect you were an undercover agent King Piccolo planted next to me. You actually ran over and hit me at this moment. Thud. After successfully pinning Master Roshi to the ground, Brawly didn't pause for a moment. He immediately spun around, dashed over to the rice cooker bearing the sealing talisman, raised his foot, and stomped down. Crunch. Smash. The rice cooker, which carried their only hope, shattered instantly like a fragile eggshell, unable to hold up even for a second. Fragments flew everywhere, and the mysterious sealing talisman on it lost all its luster at that moment. After completing all this, Brawly seemed to have accomplished some great feat, letting out a slight sigh of relief. Brawly dusted his hands off, his face returning to its usual placid, unconcerned expression. Then, as if performing a magic trick, Brawly pulled out a glistening, fragrant chicken leg from nowhere, took a hearty bite, and chewed on it, completely ignoring his surroundings. Tien Shinhan, who had just been freed from mind control but was semi-conscious due to severe injuries, happened to witness this unbelievable scene. Tien Shinhan's 3 eyes instantly widened into perfect circles, his eyeballs nearly popping out of their sockets, and the shock in his heart was immeasurable. Brawly. What in the world are you doing? That's Master Roshi, who raised you, your grandfather. How could you hit even him? Whose side are you actually on? The intertwining of extreme confusion and physical exhaustion caused Tien Shinhan's vision to blacken, and he completely lost consciousness. Master Roshi struggled, raising his head with difficulty from the human-shaped crater, his forehead still smeared with dirt and grass clippings. The next moment, Master Roshi stared blankly at the pile of unrecognizable rice cooker fragments on the ground. It felt like not only had the sky fallen, but his resolve and hope had shattered along with it. I only had this one rice cooker with a sealing talisman. This was the last resort I painstakingly prepared to deal with a situation like today. And yet, you just destroyed it so easily, so casually, with a single stomp. Boundless despair instantly overwhelmed Master Roshi's heart. Now everything is ruined. This world is truly going to fall completely under the control of this demon. Xiaosu quietly wiped the cold sweat constantly seeping from his forehead with his sleeve, his mouth twitching violently and uncontrollably, his tiny head filled with massive question marks. Why did things turn out this way? That Brawly, isn't he on our side? Wasn't he here to help? Meanwhile, King Piccolo, who had already flown halfway up into the sky, noticed after his initial desperate flight that the terrifying energy fluctuation was not coming from below. He couldn't resist taking a quick glance downward. Upon seeing this, King Piccolo was first stunned, and then an unspeakable ecstasy erupted like a volcano in his chest, making him want to burst out laughing right then and there. King Piccolo felt that happiness had arrived too suddenly. That young man, who is he? King Piccolo's green face revealed an extremely bizarre expression, a twisted smile mixed with surprise, confusion, and extreme delight. I understand now. He must have realized that I, King Piccolo, am the true ruler of this world, and he wants to defect to my side, right? That's why he acted at the critical moment, struck down that annoying old man, and stopped him from using that cursed evil containment wave. Not only that, but he also thoughtfully destroyed that fooled rice cooker. Truly a wise move. Believing he had figured out the key to everything, King Piccolo instantly felt an unprecedented confidence surge through his body, and the thought of shamefully fleeing was immediately thrown out the window. Why bother running anymore? The danger has been eliminated. Clap. King Piccolo stabilized his rapidly ascending body and, with the composure and arrogance of a victor, slowly descended from the air, like a king arriving in his territory, finally landing steadily directly opposite Brawly, who was eating a chicken leg with grease dripping down his chin. Kid, you're quite sensible. King Piccolo tried to make his tone sound amicable, but his snake-like eyes still gleamed with cruelty. He gave Brawly a green thumbs up and spoke in a condescending tone, good, very good. You made the right choice at the critical moment and did me a great favor. Since you're so clever, I might make an exception and take you on as my personal subordinate. From now on, glorious tasks like cleaning my throne and giving me leg massages will all be yours. Brawley stopped chewing, raised his eyelids, and scrutinized King Piccolo up and down without any respect. After watching for a few seconds, Brawley slightly frowned and muttered quietly with a hint of genuine confusion, "You look like nothing special. You feel very weak. What did you say?" King Piccolo's smile instantly froze, even wondering if his ears were malfunctioning, completely failing to react for a moment. This puny human actually dared to call me weak. Master Roshi, however, glared at Brawley with a dark expression. The pain in his face made Master Roshi wince. But what enraged Master Roshi even more was Brawley's seemingly treacherous behavior just now. "What are you doing, Brawley? You almost scared the crap out of me." Master Roshi was furious, no longer caring about maintaining his image as a master. He pointed at Brawley's nose and shouted with all his might, his beard bristling with excitement. "If I didn't do that, you would have died using that thing called the evil containment wave, right?" Brawley faced Master Roshi's anger with no hint of guilt or fear on his face. Instead, he counter-questioned with a serious and earnest expression. His clear eyes stared directly at Master Roshi. Master Roshi. As if a basin of ice water had been poured over him from head to toe, Master Roshi's anger instantly extinguished. He opened his mouth but found himself unable to utter a single word, only falling into an awkward and heavy silence. The evil containment wave requires the user to expend all their life energy. This was an ironclad rule proven by Master Mutaito with his own life. "So I guessed right, good thing I stopped you." Seeing Master Roshi's reaction, Brawley seemed to have solved a huge problem, letting out another sigh of relief, and took another delightful bite of his chicken leg. You brat." Master Roshi's face flushed from anger, his chest heaving violently. I don't know whether to be touched, or to give you a good beating. Yes. You saved my life. But we lost our only chance to seal him. Not only that, you also crushed the only rice cooker. Now what do we use to deal with him? If I didn't crush it, you wouldn't give up and would keep looking for an opportunity to use that evil containment wave, right? Brawley blinked, counter-questioning again with clear logic. Master Roshi was once again choked into silence, only able to stare with wide eyes, panting heavily. "I don't want you to die, although it seems possible to revive you with the Dragon Ball." Brawley pouted, a clear look of displeasure on his face, and mumbled softly, "But during the time you're gone, who will cook for me? Who will prepare my food? I'll be hungry." Master Roshi's forehead veins bulged as he listened, his teeth grinding with anger. Unable to hold back any longer, he took a step forward, jumped up, and gave Brawley a solid headbutt. "I was actually a little touched by this brat's words just now. It turns out you were just thinking of me as your personal chef. Thinking of my food. Also." Brawley rubbed his bumped forehead as if nothing had happened, then, as if suddenly remembering something important, added, "Before you die, remember to give me your inheritance. Write my name in your will early. The house, the food reserves in the HOI Poi capsules, and your savings. Even if we write your name now, I'm afraid we won't be able to leave here safely to enjoy those things." Master Roshi let out a long sigh filled with helplessness, slowly turned around, and looked with an extremely solemn expression at King Piccolo opposite him, whose face was growing uglier by the second. In the air, murderous intent permeated. "You too. Are you done talking?" King Piccolo watched this inexplicable farce between Master Roshi and Brawley with interest, especially when he looked at Master Roshi, the viciousness and resentment in his eyes almost overflowing. "That old geezer, weren't you very arrogant just now? I didn't expect that in this world. Besides that old ghost Mutaito, there's actually someone who can use the evil containment wave. But unfortunately, your only chance has been personally destroyed by your good grandson. Next, I will make you, old man, deeply understand what it means to wish for death. I will slowly, rhythmically torment you, making you regret ever coming into this world." Brawley, listen. Master Roshi knew there was no retreat. He took a deep breath, suppressing the fear and despair in his heart, and quickly instructed Brawley in a low, extremely serious, almost pleading tone, "Later, I will stake my old life to hold him back with all my might. Don't worry about anything else, turn around immediately, and run as fast as you can. Run as far as possible. Never come back. Got it?" Brawley remained unperturbed, nodding readily. At the same time, Brawley took the leftover chicken leg bone from his mouth, holding it between his fingers, seemingly pondering how to dispose of it. So, now, I need to think carefully about how to slowly torture you, old man. Ha ha ha. You will die very rhythmically. This is the consequence for daring to use the evil containment wave on me, King Piccolo. King Piccolo opened his gaping mouth, letting out a crazy and sinister laugh, his laughter filled with the pleasure of revenge and cruel anticipation. However, just as King Piccolo was laughing maniacally, at the peak of his arrogance. Whoosh! A faint whooshing sound suddenly rang out. Brawley flicked his finger, and the chicken bone, still stained with his saliva and grease, shot through the air like a bullet, at an unnatural speed, accurately striking King Piccolo's wildly laughing face. Extremely fast. Unbelievably fast. King Piccolo didn't even have time to react. He only felt a blur before his eyes, an unknown object rapidly enlarging in his pupils, and then, he was unexpectedly hit. Splat. A crisp yet somewhat sticky sound. The chicken bone, like a miniature battering ram, struck King Piccolo squarely and heavily on the center of his prominent nose bridge. Crack. King Piccolo's nose instantly let out a bone-chilling crunch. His nasal bone clearly couldn't bear the impact and had cracked. Intense pain, like an electric current, instantly shot through his entire body. At the same time, King Piccolo's wild smile completely froze on his face, as if he were wearing a crude green mask. No, to be precise, the smile on his face didn't completely disappear, it instantly transferred to Brawley's face opposite him. Brawley looked at King Piccolo's comical appearance, clutching his nose in painful contortion, and laughed even more brightly and happily than King Piccolo had, revealing a set of perfectly white teeth. It was Brawley who had casually used the leftover chicken bone as a weapon, accurately hitting his target. Thanks for watching.